Please don't push me.
Please don't push me, but y'all push B. Now we got dwellers from Cali to Flatbush B. Now they got heat on they feet that say press B. And now we so deep in the streets, y'all can't stress me. Can't curse me, then bless me. I'm crucifying my flesh, that's less me. SAT'd from preaching, can't test me. Atheists are now believing, that bless me. Yeah, we got the basement replacing any of those worldly pursuits that y'all chasing, any of those trials and tests that y'all facing, any of the relationships that y'all changing. We rearranging, making the shame shift, giving Satan back what's his, that's the blame shift. Rise up and walk commands, that's the lame shift. Cheat codes for living this life, that's the game shift. All on Yeshua, man, the rest is manure, man. I'm dying daily, so I rise up a purer man. Pressing B daily, so my sins looking fewer, man. Washing the blood, so my sins down the sewer, man. Yeah, so press B with me, and let's let whatever gon' be just be. Yeah, so press B with me, and let's let whatever gon' be just be. This episode is being brought to you by BetterHelp. Hey, listen, everybody, y'all already know we are big advocates around here at Upsets World Studios on anything that has to do with therapy. Therapy should feel accessible. It's not a luxury, okay? Everybody should be able to have this. I believe everybody on earth needs a therapist, and there will be no more wars. With online therapy, you get quality care at a price that makes sense and can help you with anything from anxiety to everyday stress. And so, as you all know, I'm a huge proponent of this. It's been 27 years deep for me. And BetterHelp has over 30,000 therapists that you can connect to at any time. You can start with a therapist, switch up, get with another therapist. It's all at your pace, but they have everything that you need. Make the investment now. Go to betterhelp.com/B-side today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/B-side. Welcome to the basement, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Tim Ross. I hope you're all doing well. Shout out to all of my dwellers from all over the world. Thank you so much for your love, for your prayer, for your support, for all the things, man. You know how we do down here in the basement. We press B. We came down here to live this life where we could be fully seen, fully heard, fully known, fully loved, even if we're not fully agreed with, because 4 out of 5 ain't bad. Yo, we have been in what has turned into a series of us talking to what the old folks would say next gen. I just got to keep it a buck. I can't say I'm old yet. I mean, I'm 50, but I can't say I'm old. That's weird. But we get to talk to influencers in the next generation that are making a mark and that are taking the gospel literally around the world through the expression that God has given them, not this cookie cutter stencil type deal. And so I'm super excited for my guest who came through from Atlanta, jumped on a plane, took a plane ride, came up here for Atlanta. It's her first time on the pod. Hopefully it's not going to be her last. But I'm presenting to some and introducing to others the one, the only. Queen Lee is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go! Yeah. What's cracking?
What's popping? I'm so excited to be here.
Are you really?
I am.
Thank you so much.
I told you I thought it was fake.
Yeah, I know. That was so funny to me.
I legit thought they hit me up. I said, there's no way. This is a lie. Okay? This is a lie.
Who would prank you like this? That's the thing.
Listen, they said, have your people. I said, I don't have no people. My husband, my people. You know, we're going to figure it out. And we bought the flight once we knew it was real.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
for sure.
And we're here. That's where we at.
I'm so grateful. Thank you for pulling up. Thank you for coming through.
Thank
both
you for
you
having
and
me.
your husband, Des. And tell me about you.
Yeah. So my name originally Aaliyah. I go as Queen Lee now. I'm a Christian hip hop artist. I'm born and raised in Atlanta. Like my husband won't let you forget he's from Detroit. I won't let you forget that I'm from Atlanta.
Atlanta, okay.
Real Atlanta.
Real Atlanta.
Okay.
Not suburbs Atlanta?
No, real Atlanta.
Real
okay?
Atlanta.
I love my city so much.
I love
and then
it.
just moving other places. So I lived in California for about 6 months.
Okay. What part?
Huntington Beach.
Huntington Beach, yeah, for sure.
I went out there to do like a DTS, like a circuit rider. It's called circuit rider. So it's discipleship training school.
Okay.
So going to other states made me want to rep my city more. Because a lot of people have a lot to say about Atlanta, so it made me want to rep my city more.
Got you. Not
Anyway.
negative though, right? They wouldn't turn. What was they saying about Atlanta?
They think Atlanta not a real place. Like Atlanta, we do think we are our own state. Like
Right.
it's Georgia, but Atlanta is a state too.
Got
Like
you.
we just really different. You know, we
It's
just
not a
really
it's a city state.
No, it's a city state.
Yeah,
You know,
for
that's-
sure.
I'm gonna start saying that. So that's just us. And so a lot of people have their narratives and whatever about Atlanta, but you're not gonna talk about Atlanta around me.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, born and raised in Atlanta, love my city so much.
Yep.
Literally, so I can just go back to me being saved, right?
Yeah,
So
for
I got
sure.
saved in 2017.
Okay.
My whole life, never knew God at all. But I always even my first tattoos and stuff was about God, but I didn't know him.
Interesting.
In my family, we only went to church on New Year's.
Got it.
So once a year, technically twice, because when it hit midnight, then it's a new day.
Right.
So twice a
You
year,
got a
basically.
2-for-1 deal?
Yeah, and
on,
one. So
on
that's,
December 31st
so now
and January
I can
1st.
say it was 2 times a year.
That's right.
So I
That's
went to
hilarious.
church only on New Year's. Not even the traditional Black family Easter.
No, you didn't do that.
No.
So y'all just went to the
Watch
watch night service.
Watch night service only.
Yep.
And then when I got to a certain age, my mama stopped making us even go to that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I grew up just super regular. So
Mhm.
In Atlanta, super regular is loud, ratchet, very hood, all the different things. And that was me. That's how I grew up.
For sure.
And so 2017 come and I'm working at Amazon. So it was 2 things in the world at that time that I loved more than anything. And that was men and money.
Got it.
As long as those 2 are present, I'm there.
Yeah, got you.
You know,
Feel
if I'm gonna make some money,
Yep.
men are there,
Yep.
I'm coming.
Yeah, for sure.
And so those are 2 things in life that I cared about the most. And I'm 19 at this point. I already had 2 abortions at this point. So just crazy lifestyle, right? Started
Yep.
having sex at 14.
Mm-hmm.
So boom, I'm working at Amazon at a warehouse, and this guy, and he nice looking, so he come up to me, we talking and stuff. He prophesied to me for the first time, and I didn't know what that was. I was like, he a witch? I don't know how he know me. Something's going on. You know, that's just
Hey.
my way of thinking.
Hey, hold
honestly.
on, Queen. Calm down. All right, we going fast right now. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I said. I said, now this is a
I'm about to throw
warlock.
Some, yeah. I'm
Like,
about
what
to,
are you doing?
Yo, I'm weak. All right. Hold on. Hold on. All right, so this
Really?
is crazy sauce. Okay, so slow down real quick. Okay, so you at work.
Amazon warehouse.
Okay. Bro rose up on you.
Mm-hmm.
He's attractive to you.
Yes. No,
So-
I'm attracted to him.
Oh,
I don't really know if he want me.
No, that's what I said. He's attractive to you.
Oh, attracted to me.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
He's attractive to you, so you what's popping?
Mm-hmm.
And homie hits you with a word
Mm-hmm.
because you was only in church for your 2-for-1.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't know nothing about the prophetic.
Nope.
You don't know.
I didn't know that's what it was called.
You didn't know nothing.
I didn't know.
about it.
I never heard the word prophecy in my life before then. And I'm in college too, and I'm in college studying psychology because I knew I wanted to talk, but I didn't know how the Lord was going to have me speaking. So I thought probation officer, counselor. I love, so marriage counselor. I just knew I was in school for psychology, and he was like, "You supposed to be somewhere talking," and I'm like, "Yeah, I mean that's what I'm in school for. Okay, cool." And he was like, "No, the type of words that the Lord has given you is for you to use for him." And he was like,
Okay, hold on. Sorry. I see everything
Yeah,
cinematically,
yeah.
right? So, did he say hi? Did he just walk up to you and just hit you with a word? How did this?
So, okay.
I need it from the beginning.
Okay.
You see this nigga coming
Yeah,
over
so I
to
see
you,
him.
and then what happens?
So basically, okay, this was all God.
Okay.
So Amazon, some days, depending on the workload, they'll put you on partners.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 people. And so I was riding forklifts back then. So was he.
You was
And
whipping
so-
a forklift?
Yeah.
Come on, little man.
Yeah, I can.
Let's get it
I
cracking.
can do it.
Huh.
Forward, backward, what we need.
Let's go.
I can do it.
Yeah.
And so they put the names on the board of the partners for that day, and they put me and him as partners.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you go find your partner. Your name, you trying to find out who your partner is.
Yep.
So you find your partner, and he was my partner.
Okay.
And so we about to start the workload or whatever. And that's when, as we're working, he just come out you supposed to be somewhere talking for the Lord. That's what you're supposed to be doing. And so he was like, we have a Bible study every Wednesday night or Thursday night. I can't remember which one now. And it was that day. It was the day that he would say that's when the Bible studies was. He was like, you should come tonight. And in my head, I'm like, he like, let me get your number. I'm like, yeah, I want your number. I ain't trying to come to this Bible study though.
Right,
like,
right.
I ain't say that, but that's
Right,
what I'm
right.
thinking. Like, I'm gonna get your number, but I ain't coming to this Bible study.
Right.
So I get his number. I leave. I go back to my side of town. Where this Bible study is about 50 minutes from my house.
Wow.
And so I had about $10 in my bank account. So that was gonna be the gas money. And I was like, nope, not put my last $10 in there for the Bible study that I want to go to.
Yeah, for
not
sure.
doing it.
Yeah.
And he ended up calling me, didn't save his number. So of course I answered. And he was like, hey, are you coming? And I'm just like, ugh. And what I didn't know was the Holy Spirit then. Something was unctioning me to go. Like, you need to go. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to just go. So I go to the gas station, about to put my last 10 in the tank, which I know now was freaking faith. But I'm about to put my last 10 in the tank. And never in my life, y'all, I found money on the ground. I found $20 on the ground.
Dang.
I'm at Quick Trip. Okay, I'm at Quick Trip in the hood. And I literally find, you never find money on the ground. Who ever finds money on the ground? So I find these $20 on the ground. I put the $20 in my tank. Didn't have to put the 10 in there. Kept it in my account.
Kept your 10.
And I go to this Bible study. And I got saved that night. It was crazy. I literally got saved that night. And I plugged into that church for 8 years.
Shout out to your Amazon forklift
That's
partner.
so funny.
Yo, like, we be thinking that, oh, man, I don't want to say nothing to nobody. I don't want nobody to think. Like, that one thing turned into this right now.
Whole thing. Yep. So I went there, got saved. I stayed plugged in at the church for about 8 years. I was, like, in my first time at the church, not the Bible study, like, actually going on a Sunday service. I sat on the front row. And I always sit on the front row because I'm short, okay?
Yep.
Not because I'm so in tune or whatever. I sit on the front row because I'm short. When y'all stand up and worship, I can't see. So I like being in the front.
For sure.
So I sat in the front row. And my pastor, who is actually my spiritual father now, he's my spiritual father. He's actually marrying me and my husband next month.
Dope.
The pastor comes up and he's like, you gonna do what I'm doing. And I'm like, I said, you talking to me? Yeah, you gonna do what I'm doing. I said, wrong chick, wrong place, wrong time, wrong everything. Like, I don't know. And he was like, I'm telling you, you're gonna do what I'm doing. And he immediately pulled me up into leadership. The Lord says, and I don't know nothing about, so I heard a lot of people in ministry because, you know, I didn't know nothing about God.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I learned very fast. My pastor was teaching me power with people and not power over people. Just because you're in leadership, you know,
You don't flex on them.
you don't do that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's not what we're about.
And just 2 short years later, I became his assistant. I was his assistant for 3 years. After that, for 2 more years, I ran production at the church. So it's just like the Lord literally pushed me into ministry.
For sure.
Super quickly. Like, my relationship with the Lord just took off super fast. So that's a little bit of the background of how I got saved.
Yeah.
Do you want me to keep going?
Girl, please.
Okay.
I'm watching a movie right now.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So that's 2017, right?
Yeah.
2019, this challenge come out. It's a rap challenge, and it's called. Now, if everybody know me, I love rap. I love Nicki Minaj. My girl, I would study her lyrics when
Okay.
I was younger.
Yeah, for sure.
Future, Young Thug, all the people from Atlanta that just like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And so, 2019 World Rights challenge going around on Instagram, and it's called a Back in the Days challenge, and it's a beat everybody's using, and it's talking about who they was back in the days and who they are now. And the Lord was like, do the challenge. And I'm like, you want me to rap? Like, you telling me to rap. Now, I know that I'm very into music, but not did I think that I would be doing it.
Okay, so up until this point, up until this rap challenge, you wasn't rapping.
So when I was in 7th grade,
Okay.
I was in this rap group.
Okay.
It was called F Love Get Money.
Got it.
I'm telling you, that's what it was called, y'all.
Got it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And that was my first time rapping. And we had like one little song, you know? But other than that, no. Like, and not seriously, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Yeah.
like kids. I was
Yeah,
probably
for-
like 12 or something, you know?
We got a group.
No,
I don't know if anybody gonna like our name. F Love Get Money.
I'm telling
It's the
you.
name of the group. We not changing it for nobody.
We
We don't
wasn't.
care how offensive this is. 12
and,
years old.
And the fact that I'm rapping for love now is insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's so insane.
He's redeemed it all.
He is so good.
Unbelievable.
And so I do
Wow.
this challenge. it blow up.
Okay, okay. I just want to make sure.
Okay.
I'm sorry, man. I just got to make sure. I just got to make sure I'm hearing you right. All right. You and your friends talk to you like your auntie. You and your little friends, right? Did your little music group when you was 12. You ain't rap since.
No.
You ain't wrote nothing. You ain't wrote a hot 16 and just tuck it in your jeans.
Not at all.
You ain't got a little notebook scratching the itch. Like you ain't on break at Amazon like you ain't got
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Unbelievable.
And when the Lord told me to write it, y'all, I wrote that rap in 10 minutes.
Okay.
It came so quickly.
So from one MC to another, she just told you she was dope without telling you she's dope.
I didn't know.
Only people that really are about this life do something in 10 minutes.
I'm telling you, it was 10 minutes, y'all. It was crazy. So I write that, and one of my friends, he's my brother. He's a Christian hip hop artist. His name is Glow. So good. And he said, God told me you're supposed to be on my album. And he sent me a song with an open verse on it, and that was my first time being in the studio. This 2019, first time being in the studio, and everybody loved the song. So the Lord's like telling me like lock in with music. But I was like, what you said, how you was running from doing this podcast?
Yeah, for sure.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not doing
I'm
that.
not trying to be no rapper.
Right.
I'm supposed to have a women's ministry. Okay? I'm supposed to be talking to the women.
My pastor said I was going to do what he's doing.
Right.
Where my robe at?
Please. Okay? So
I'm supposed to be doing 7 last words around Easter.
I did not think that I was gonna be rapping. I'm the last person to think that I'll be rapping. Like honestly,
this is wild.
And so I was like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna just put a few songs out. So I put like 2 songs out. One called the first one that I dropped by myself was called Out the Mud, and people loved it. And next thing you know, do you know who Big Breeze is? Anike. Well, her name was Wande.
Yeah.
She's Anike.
I know Anike.
Those are my friends now, and they're hitting me up like on April 16th, we'll have like 4 songs out together, me and Anike. And me and Big Breeze got music out. And I'm just like, these like people want to work with me. I'm just like, really?
Hey, go back to Out the Mud real quick though. You know what I'm saying? Take me a little bit slower. How'd that hook go?
Out the Mud is good. So it go like straight out the mud it costs. Ain't no other way I'm boss. Straight from the bottom it's raw. Now I gotta carry that cross. That's the hook.
I felt something on that thing when you said it. I was like, tell me, give me some of it.
Yeah.
I need some of it.
No, Out the Mud was like it's one of my favorites. I mean, it's my baby also,
for
but
sure.
it's like one of my favorites, a crowd favorite. And so yeah, that's how I got into music for real. I just didn't. I don't know. Like I really can't believe like this is my life when it comes to music. Like being in some of these rooms that people that I listen to, that I love, that that you've had on your podcast.
Yeah,
like
for
it's
sure.
kind of crazy. And so that's how the Lord introduced me to music. What's the other thing, babe? Probably the radio show. Our radio show is called Fresh Leftovers Radio Show. And I told you a little bit downstairs, but literally Fresh Leftovers, they started a few years before. I want to say like 3 years before me. And it started with my brother Legacy just it wasn't even his, he didn't have a daughter yet, but it was an extra room in his house with a picnic table and a mic. And he was just like doing Christian, hip hop art, having Christian hip hop artists online, interviewing them, X, Y, Z and stuff. And then a few years later, they saw some of my videos on Instagram and was just like, we want you to come in for an interview. They wanted to interview me. But I ended up doing like a working interview because they asked me to come back 2 more times. And I came back those 2 more times and it was like, yeah, we've been asking Lord for a female co-host and you're it.
Wow.
And so I've been there for, I think, 3 years now, 3 going on 4, something like that. So yeah. I hope that give you enough about me.
Are you kidding me? Like this, like I'm over here and you wrote a book?
Yes. So I was single for 4.5 years before me and my husband met. And this is the women's ministry thing I was talking about. Because the Lord had spoke to me about women's ministry. So I kind of thought that he was tripping when he said music. Because I'm you said women.
Yeah.
And so not knowing that we could have so many different hats. So in 2020, I started writing to my husband. The Lord told me to start writing to my husband. I didn't meet him till 2022, and we didn't get married until 2024. But the Lord told me to start writing to my husband, so I'm doing that. And the Lord, as I'm writing to my husband, the Lord was like, "You're gonna create a Dear Husband journal for other women." And I was like, "Okay." And so a few years go by, I sit with it or whatever. And 2021 come, the Lord is like, all right, it's time. You finally in a season where you're content with your singleness. You are actually accepting the fact that your husband isn't here yet, and that you're just in a waiting season. Whatever, you finally are. I feel like you're finally learning how to wait well, and so He wants me to teach other women how to wait well. So I get on Canva and I start creating this journal. Easy, just lines, right? Dear husband, lines. Dear husband, lines. And Lord was like, actually, no. After the first at least 10, 20 pages of that book, you're going to talk about this single season. And the Lord allowed me. This is the first time that I felt the Lord allow me to feel something just for others, right? So I started feeling this thing where I didn't feel content no more. I started feeling lonely again. I was being invited to so many engagement parties and all these things. And I started to feel bad again. And I didn't feel that in a very long time. And I was like, Lord, why am I feeling this? He was like, so you can write it. He was like, because please don't, like, He humbled me enough to know, like, you're not so far from, like, not needing me in this single season that you can't write about it to other women.
Right, for sure. And
so, yeah, it's different chapters where it talks about distractions, healthy distractions, how to create them, how to wait well, how to not get weary in well doing, how to remember the promise, just so many different things or whatever. And so I put those chapters in the first part of the book, and then the end you get to start writing to your husband once you feel like you've learned these things and developed in these areas.
It's great.
And the Lord was like, will you give me this book? And I was like, yeah. He was like, well, I don't want it to be called Dear Husband. I want it to be called As I Wait. So the book is called As I Wait. It's on Amazon, and it's linked in my bio and all those things. But it's just to teach women how to wait well, for real. I really just want to teach women how to wait well and how to not look at your single season as a liability and not an asset. Because it is. I like so many single women, and this is what is including me. And that's why I'm so glad the Lord had me write it in my singleness, because I didn't want to be writing as a married woman to a single woman.
For sure.
I didn't. Because even how I was in my singleness, I didn't receive well from married women.
Right.
Only because it was some that I knew that was trying to give me advice that didn't wait, and that didn't wait well. And so you're trying to teach me of a season that you haven't been through. Not saying that the Lord can't use anyone. I believe that the Lord can use anyone, can give a prophetic word.
Qualified.
But you're just not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I won't go to a virgin to learn how to stop having sex. You don't know what I've experienced.
True.
You don't even know how it feels.
Right.
So you don't know why I don't want to stop. So
You've never been turned on to be turned off.
You don't get it.
That's exactly right.
So,
it's so true. Oh my
so many times in that book, I put, as I'm going through this with you, as I'm going through, I even put the days of how many days I was celibate in there to let them know, or abstinent, to let them know, hey, you're not just abstinent alone.
Right.
I'm in year one. I'm in this with you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's good.
And so many women have gravitated towards this book, and I'm so happy about it. Because I don't think it's enough in a church that teaches us how to wait well.
Yeah.
I think a lot of married women try to put on, a lot of married couples try to put on single events, without fully knowing the process of singleness. And not that all of them are like that, but some of them are. And I didn't want to be that married woman writing to a single woman. I wanted to let you know that I can relate to you, and I'm in the same season with you. My lash tech, one of my best friends, I was doing her lashes, and she was doing my lashes, and she was telling me about something with a dude that she was dealing with or whatever. And she was like, but I know you probably don't understand. I said, no, you feel desperate. I said, you feel like everybody thinks that you're desperate because this is something that, you're still waiting on something that's, she was like, that's exactly. I said, please know that just because I'm married now, please don't write me off.
Right.
I know I did that, but please don't write me off, because I'm telling you, like, I know exactly how you feel. So yeah, that's what my book is about. Just teaching married women, single women, and divorced too. I want to make sure I start putting that in there, because even though you're divorced, I promise you it's somebody else the Lord can have waiting for you as well.
For sure. Absolutely.
And so that book is for divorced women and single women who want to learn how to wait well.
That's fire, yo. That's fire. Man, listen. I'm still dapping up your Amazon coworker.
That is so funny.
He the one set it off. Like the Lord used him. You know what I'm saying? And all of this has come from it, and that's just beautiful. I love origin stories. You know what I'm saying? I love origin stories, and I love how God redeems and the process he goes through and how he calls us into service and what he calls us to do. And it's never what we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be a homicide detective. And my mother worked for the LAPD for 30 years. And so that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I've been preaching for the last 29 years. And then
that's crazy.
Now just doing this podcast.
The different occupations that the Lord will take us through, too. Because I was in the military for 8 years, too.
Were you really?
I was in the Army for 8 years. So I joined in high school. A lot of people don't know you can do that. If you're 17.
Yeah, ROTC?
No, but I was in the actual Army. So I did ROTC in high school. But in 11th grade, so they had this thing called split option in the military.
Okay.
So basically in 11th grade, like when you go into 12th grade, like that summer, you can go to basic training that summer.
What?
So I was in high school I went to basic training. So all my friends was out, getting ready for senior year. I was in basic training. And then you finish high school and then you go and do the rest of your training after. That's what I did. And so I joined in 2014. I got out in 2022.
What?
Yeah, I was 17. That's so funny.
And you was in there for 8 years?
8 years.
Oh, then listen, this is why you should never judge a book by its cover.
Really?
Cause you can handle an AR up in this piece.
I can.
Yes, you can.
I'm actually a sharpshooter. I can shoot really good. But you know what's so crazy though? Not pistols.
Hey, hold on real quick.
No, but not pistols though, because they don't teach us pistols.
I know it. That's pistols is the last form of defense.
Right.
Yeah,
so not
for
pistols.
up
So
close
my
and
husband took me
personal.
to a gun range before. I ain't do that good on pistols. But you put me in a prone supported position on the ground. I promise I got you.
Yeah.
M16 or M4, I got you. Kneeling, standing, whatever, I can do it.
Yeah, for sure.
But not you can't give me no 9 and I don't know what to do.
Yeah, for sure. I get it. Yeah, no, that's what people don't understand in the military. The military is built for distance, right? We picking you off from over there.
Yeah.
The thing is not to engage you in close quarters. If we get in there, then it's going to be it's a whole different.
Right.
So things have gone wrong for us to get up close and personal with you, right? We're trying to pick you off, and then and again, military, that you're no longer a civilian. You are government issued. You are government property. You work for the government, right? You on behalf of the nation, not the city, right? Police are proficient with firearms, and they're usually not proficient with assault rifles, carbines, stuff like that, because everything they do is close quarters.
Yep.
Right? They got to walk up to somebody's car.
Yep.
They got to knock on somebody's door. So it's a different skill set altogether. You're hard pressed to find somebody that's proficient at both, unless the only thing they do is stay out on the range.
Yeah, I got friends that's in the military and officers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Both. Now
Absolutely, they different.
Yeah.
Yeah, they different. Their level of intensity
is crazy.
It's because they've seen way more than the average even police officer has seen, right? So thank you for your service. Come on, 8 years.
I appreciate that.
And then she went in high school. That's wild.
I was like, I need somebody to pay for this college.
Hey.
Right? Well, what are we gonna do? And then look,
Uncle Sam would do it.
Then the Lord told me to get out the military. So that was just like,
it sounds like he the Lord of your life.
As he should be, okay? No, it's so many things that like you want in life, and the Lord's like, actually,
yeah, nah,
we want to have you do this,
Yeah,
or it can just look different.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so so you got married, right? And so what is life now? Like, what are you doing now?
So life these days is about balance, for real, because so we got married a few months ago, but we're still planning. So we're planning our wedding. It's next month. So I actually am a regular person. So I work a regular 9 to 5. I work from home. I work remotely. And at first I didn't have a job. So I was at Last Check, like I told you. Well, I am a Last Check. This July it'll be 5 years to me that I'll be in a certified Last Check. Okay. And I didn't work a job for 4 years because Last Check took me off my job. Like I made so much money lashing before. Wow. But I went to California for 6 months to this program with the circuit riders called Discipleship Training School, and the Lord told me like He wanted me to go, and that fumbled up my whole life because me and my husband was just like, we were still boyfriend and girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And he had already told me, I'm not doing long distance. And I said, well, I'm already telling you, the Lord told me to go. So either I'm going to be your girlfriend or I'm not. So you got to pick. And then 3 months later, he asked me to be his girlfriend. I said, obviously, you chose right. Okay? You chose right. And so the Lord, and it was a lot of things, even in that season, that the Lord had to like deal with both of us in because I understand the power of asking community for things that you need, right?
Mm-hmm.
My husband from Detroit, not so much. He look at anything that's asking as begging. Like he always said, I'm not begging. I'm like, it's not begging. It's utilize my resources. That's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so to go to this school, it was a 6-month program. It's a discipleship training school. They teach you for 6 months how to be free, how to be disciple, all these different things, how to walk people through the gospel. And then we go to college campuses for 3 more months. We travel to HBCUs and we spread the gospel on campus and we host events.
Beautiful.
I did that. I toured on a van for 3 months after the other 3 months of learning, and we set other people in college free and tell them certain things, whatever. So we'll get into that because that's like a whole thing.
It's dope.
But the Lord was like, okay, it's time to fundraise, so I have to raise $3,500 to go, and that's for you to like be able to have in your pocket.
Right.
And so the Lord was like, so to fundraise, it was a month. So I was the only person because I didn't want to ask for anything either. And then I have this man in my ear telling me that I'm begging if I do. But I knew that the Lord was telling me to ask. So I was like, okay, I just got to do what the Lord's telling me. So I posted one post on Instagram. One post, I said, hey, it was a video of me explaining what I'm going to do, X, Y, Z. I showed them how much I have to pay, X, Y, Z. The Lord said, post it at 11 a.m. on this day. I said, okay. I posted at 11 a.m. that day. I got an email 11 minutes later.
11:11?
11 minutes later. 11 minutes. He was next to me. 11 minutes later, this one person paid the entire thing. And so I DM'd her. I said, I don't know this woman. She said, I was scrolling and I was asking Lord, how can I? And you came up. And first of all, who got I only got $3,500 sitting nowhere. Okay, well in our wedding fund, but I was talking about.
But it's for the wedding,
right? It's for the wedding.
It ain't just
It
ain't just to bless no random person.
This ain't just sit right here
in your scrolling section.
This
of
money is
Instagram.
already accounted for in another area.
For sure.
Okay,
this is way different from finding $20 on the ground at racetrack, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm telling you, it's crazy.
This ain't the same thing.
Like this lady just paid the whole thing. I'm like,
wow.
Wow. So but not only was the Lord teaching me obedience, he was teaching my husband through me being able to, be obedient and do what he said, and he do that. And both of us just had our mouths wide open, like, what the heck just happened? So when I first looked at it, I thought it said $3.50.
Your eye wouldn't even let you see the other 2 zeros. You were like,
I was like, huh? Kind of like how I felt with this pocket. They said Tim Ross. They said, who? Tim Jones? I don't know who this is. I don't know.
This is wow.
I'm telling you. So I get the money and I go. It's so crazy. I go there. And so me and my husband, but boyfriend at the time, I'm there for that time, and we started arguing a lot. I'm like, we long distance, now we arguing. It's too much. I said, he a distraction. I'm breaking up with him tomorrow. Y'all. I said, he a distraction. He got to be a distraction. Nope, I'm breaking up with him tomorrow. And we already on a time difference at that point. So I'm like, you know what? I'm leaving. I can't do this. And I only said it in my head to the Lord. I'm breaking up with him tomorrow. We had a prophet that came to our school or whatever.
Yo, you living in the Old Testament.
Really?
The Lord sending you prophets for everything.
He don't play.
He ain't playing with you.
He don't play.
He about to send Samuel. He about to send Nathan.
We had this prophet. He was a teacher. He came.
Gosh.
His name was David Gava. He's an African teacher, prophet. We had just got done with class with him or whatever. And so I go to sleep at night and I tell the Lord that. And I saw him, or during class, I saw him like, I'm talking about he walking up to people, you this. I'm talking about it's crazy. And the people falling out because how could you possibly know this, Yeah. So I'm already looking at this man like, oh my God, like he's so in tune. Like he hears from the Lord clearly. I go to sleep that night that I tell the Lord in my head, I'm breaking up with him tomorrow. The prophet was in my dream. He came to me in my dream and said, the man that you're about to break up with, do not break up with him. You guys are in love. You never thought your relationship would be this, X, Y, Z. In a dream, I'm in a grocery store, and the prophet came up to me in the grocery store. But I'm still in California, though. I know that I'm still in California because I'm at Ralph's. Okay, we don't have that.
You definitely in Cali.
Okay.
You definitely in Cali.
So,
for sure.
right.
You definitely in Cali.
We at
You
Ralph's.
definitely in Cali. You know what I'm saying? You definitely in Cali. You ain't at Albertsons, you know what I'm saying? You ain't at no doggone, you ain't at, you know what I'm saying? She ain't at Kroger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She ain't at Publix.
Not. We at
She
Ralph's.
at Ralph's up in
I
this
knew it.
mug. Yeah.
I said I'm still in California.
You still in Cali for
And
sure.
so I wake up and still crying and not knowing that 3 months later this man would ask me to be his wife. So it was like a whole thing. So
Hold on, I just want to make. Man, this. My mind is blown. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so the prophet. Just let me talk hood talk real quick.
okay, go ahead.
So the prophet ethers like 4 or 5 of the other students, right,
Mhm.
in real life, but then for you, just waits till you go to bed. It's like I will not talk to her while she is awake.
I was telling you.
She will probably be defensive if she is awake. When she is sleeping, Holy Spirit, if you would just let her see me in her dream, and then I will prophesy to her in her dream about her husband.
I'm telling you.
Because she is not supposed to break up with him. She's supposed to be with him. And when she comes back from this, she has no idea she's about to ruin her future if she does not meet this man from Detroit. The man
From
from
Detroit.
The man from Detroit is the man for her. Nobody in Atlanta deserves her. Only the man from Detroit.
It's crazy.
Crazy sauce.
Crazy.
This is crazy sauce.
I couldn't even believe it. Like, I woke up like, Lord, I only said that in my head. I didn't even like say it out. I just said it in my head.
Okay, so you wake up the next morning and what is your feeling? Like, how do you even register the dream?
I called him and told him the truth. I said, I was about to break up with you and Lord told me don't. And I was crying still because in the dream ended with me sobbing. I woke up the same way. Crying. Because I couldn't believe it. Like, and so not knowing that this man is planning so much, but that's not even it, right? So I continue my tour. We're arguing through tour. I'm in South Carolina. I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm trying so bad. I'm done. I can't keep focusing on you. I'm on tour. I'm in South Carolina. I wake up the next morning. He said, come outside. It's 6 a.m. He's at my tour stop in South Carolina. He's outside.
Des is outside?
Des is outside. He got off work at 2 a.m. and was there by 6.
Oh yeah.
In a car that was running hot.
Hey, this what I'm trying
The
to
car was
tell.
running hot.
I'm trying to tell y'all. Detroit dudes and Cali dudes, we somebody's ancestors just split up and went 2 different ways. Cause we cut different. That's what we do for a girl that we
That
feel
man
like,
was outside. He said, come outside.
Hey, nah. Yeah, that's exactly what he was supposed to be doing.
And so he couldn't come in. So that man slept outside. I came out. And guess where he took me? Ring shopping.
Ralph's. Oh,
No.
I'm sorry.
Ralph's. I'm in South Carolina.
I'm sorry.
I said I'm in South Carolina.
I don't know. Maybe there was a rogue store that I don't know.
No, he took me ring shopping. Immediately, like we need to get size. Like you not about to keep on trying to leave me, run from me. Like we need to get this ring.
I'm about to lock this
Right.
down.
So
Only time you can leave me after we married is if you want to go to the other room.
Yeah.
But we ain't gonna. Me and you shall never part.
I'm
Now
telling-
she died.
I'm telling you, he had everything
What?
planned out. It was so crazy, and he is just so happy he came. So like we do tour stops at different colleges every day. He just so happened to come on one of our free days when we not doing nothing, and so I get to spend the entire day with him. It was just like
Even the visit was prophetic.
even the visit.
Hey, you be getting cooked. The Lord got you out, and then was like, I will have Queen Lee on a short leash around her.
I'm telling you, it's like he never let me get too far.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, no, I love it for real because I love the Lord so much, and I really do try to make him like the author of my life for real.
For
like,
sure.
Not just like say that because it's written or no, like what am I supposed to do? Like what do you
Absolutely.
need me to do? Where do you
Yeah.
need me to go? And so when I even like opportunities like this, so when I get opportunities like this, I be like, Lord, how am I qualified to be in these rooms?
Wow.
And he's like, you're not. And that's exactly why
Wow.
you're walking with me.
Wow.
And so,
Yeah.
but yeah, so going back to your original question, the life looks like balance.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
trying to balance actually working a job, but also being a new wife and not really knowing what to do. On top of crazy things we're paying for right now. We still paying on his honeymoon.
Yeah,
we
for
still
sure.
paying on his wedding.
Yeah.
So that means like overtime, like soon as I clock out of work, I feel like my real day starts. Like who I really am starts.
Yeah, for sure.
And I clock out at 6. So either I got a show after, studio session,
Yep.
lashes.
Yeah.
My real day starts after that. Feeding
Yep.
this man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We just got a new house. So
Yeah.
it's just like, it's so much. It's so much. We got a dog. So much going on. So yeah, life right now just really looks like balance. Like trying to see like, Lord, which hat do I have on today?
Yeah, for sure.
Like what am I doing today?
Absolutely.
And so I just had this prophet recently tell me, she was like,
course you did. Do we not?
Oh my
Do we
gosh.
not know the theme of this whole thing right now?
It's
Queen
the day
Lee
before I
and her
came here.
prophets.
And it be people that I don't even be like, I
The
don't
Chronicles
know.
of Queen Lee and the prophet said.
I'm telling y'all, like, I
Okay,
really
so what
don't-
did this one say?
She basically told me.
Because you already know it's gonna come to pass.
No, she said, you know, you operate in the fivefold, all 5. And I was like, I don't know. She was like, what do you do? She was like, well, I teach, you know, single women how to, you know, whatever. And I talk on a podcast. You know, I like to evangelize. We go to different campuses, and even when I'm at the grocery store, evangelize. I was like, I'm a licensed minister now. She was like, do you hear the fivefold? I just want to see if you hear the fivefold. And I was just like, I guess when I just look at myself, I don't.
Right, for sure.
You don't see that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I like, it's like for me, I want God to tell me the titles.
For sure.
Like, I don't want
Yeah.
me to. I will never just go around and be like, I'm a prophetess.
Yeah,
a
nah.
prophetess, evangelist. Like, I don't.
That's a good look.
Like, even Jesus said, who does man say that? I don't never want to be one to say, this is who you say that I am. So when she told me that, she was like, I was doing her lashes, and it was so, I did it the day before yesterday coming here. She was like one of my last clients coming here or whatever. And me and my husband wanted some extra money to just have fun out here.
Mm-hmm.
And what this woman tipped me, and what she had to, it was just, the Lord just be setting stuff up. It just be so crazy. Like, not knowing that I fly out the next day. Oh, no, I think it was the same day. I flew out the same day that night. Yeah. I did her lash like around 2 p.m. We flew out at 9 p.m.
Wow.
And so having that last client, and for her to be just like speaking into my life, and just to even say, like, even me coming out, she even knew all of this. Like, she knew this. Like, she was like, I just see you. I just see you on and off planes. I don't think you know, like, what's happening. And I'm like, I don't, honestly. I'm just going wherever he say go, do whatever he say
Yeah,
do.
for sure.
And I eventually
Wow.
get there. But yeah, just balance.
That's beautiful. Well, first of all, let me commend you and your husband on, like, the priority of, like, solidifying your marriage and then planning the event. Because I see a lot of people spend so much time with the event that they never plan the marriage.
Wow. That's good.
And so they make this huge investment into the event and then don't even know how to talk to each other when the marriage starts. And it's like, okay, you pay for this Super Bowl production that you called a wedding, right? But that don't translate to, like, communication, to listening, to intimacy, to any of that other stuff. So I can't say it's a trend because it's too small of a data sample, but I've seen more than usual, more than what has been usual for me to see, of people that are like, we got married on this date and the wedding will be next year.
Yeah.
Or we got married this month, but the wedding is 6 months later.
Yeah.
And I commend that. Like,
No,
the
he planned it out
priorities.
really good. Like,
Mhm.
when he proposed April 6th, and as soon as everybody left the house, he was like, we get married next month on the 21st, which was which was the day he asked me to be his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah,
So we
bro-
got married.
Bro is
We kept
intentional.
the same anniversary. Yeah, he
Yeah,
did a good job.
bro is intentional. No, when he drove to South Carolina, he stated his intentions.
Yeah.
So y'all could have argued for the next 5 years. He was gonna be right there like a stalker. Bro had already proven. Like, and that's what I respect about a man that knows who he wants.
Mhm.
And that's what pursuit looks like. You know what I'm saying? Not this ambiguous, you've been dating for 5 years.
Oh my
and
gosh.
he's still like, it ain't the timing yet. And I'm like, after 5 years, what? What?
That was his mindset when we first met, though. He told me, he said, he was like, being from Detroit, and you see, like, women, y'all can be together for this long, and they'll set you up and stuff like that or whatever. So he had very bad trust issues.
Yeah.
And so he was like, yeah, I won't marry you until I got to see what you like in every season, 3 to 5 years. I need that first. And we got married at 1 year.
Winter, spring, summer, fall.
Right. 1 year.
For sure. Because in 1 year, you have winter, spring, summer, and
Okay,
fall.
you saw all the seasons.
You got all the seasons. 4 seasons, 1 year. Let's get it.
telling you.
Absolutely, for sure.
So I told him, I said, when the Lord tell you what to do, it don't matter what your timeline look like.
Facts.
I learned that in my single season to
Yeah.
let go of my timeline. I said I'll be married and pregnant by 25, 26.
Wow.
I'm 28. I'm
Yeah.
married, but I ain't pregnant.
Amen.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. But we can wait.
absolutely.
But and my perspective changed on that too. We can wait on the kid.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey,
please.
listen, I was 8.5 years. Juliet and I were 8.5 years married before we had our first child.
Wow. Was that planned?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we were literally like, we just gonna be fruitful, but we ain't multiplying. We was knocking each
telling
other down.
I'm with it.
Yeah, I was like, they're like, we ain't no babies coming out of here. I just want to be up in here. I don't want nothing coming out.
Yep. I'm with it.
I am about to shoot up the club.
Shoot up the club.
I'm shooting up the club every night. It's gonna be a homicide every night.
Yeah. I'm telling you. So we not rushing.
Yeah,
We're not
for
rushing
sure.
on that right now.
Yeah, that's dope.
But I was just hoping, like, at first I was just hoping, like, Lord, please don't let it happen before the wedding, because I didn't want to be waddling down the aisle.
Yep.
So I was like, please don't let it happen before
Yeah,
the wedding. But
for
now
sure.
the wedding is here, so we're about 28 days away. So now that the wedding is here, I'm like, okay.
You cool now. You can,
It's-
you
I
can
can
relax, a
relax.
little bit. Yeah.
But not too relaxed.
Yeah, not too relaxed. Because then exactly.
But the Lord
Yo-
has showed, I already know my first child is going to be a girl. The Lord showed me my daughter about 6 times in my dreams.
Wow.
About 6 times. I seen one son before, but my daughter I've seen like 6 times. Like,
Did the African man, was he holding them?
no.
Okay.
No.
I'm
This
just
was no
playing. I'm sorry.
prophet, no prophet, just a prophetic dream.
Got it. I got you.
know?
Okay. So
Oh, yeah.
we can check that off the fivefold as well. Mm-hmm. I see it. I see it. All right. So Queen, what you want to talk about? What
Yeah, it
what are
was
you musing?
something.
What did you what is
Okay, it's something. So this is gonna go into friendships.
Okay.
I have a question. I'm gonna see how I'm gonna set this up. So a couple years ago, I'm gonna tell you the type of person that I used to be, and I'm gonna tell you how I am right now.
Got it.
So a few years ago in friendships, whenever, you repeatedly did things to me, you repeatedly hurt me, you repeatedly disappointed me, you repeatedly not showed up for me, you repeatedly not support me, I would you lose access to me.
Mm-hmm.
So blocking you, leaving group chats, you have no access to me. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The type of person that I am now, I haven't blocked no one, and I can't tell you how long. I don't leave group chats anymore. I'm very I say this word, some people think that it's bad. I'm confrontational. I don't think confrontational is a bad person.
It's a great word.
Yeah, people think being a confrontational person is bad. No, we're called to be peacemakers. So
That's
if I
right.
have an issue,
That's right.
I'm not going to leave room for assumption for the enemy to come in. I want to talk.
That's right. We need
So
to talk.
thank you. I'm so glad you said that, because it's so many people that think like, you don't have to say nothing, just be quiet. Just no. If I want you in my life and I care,
I'm
we
advocating
got
for
to
you.
talk.
We got to talk. We got to face forward. Confront means to face forward on the issue. It
I
doesn't
love
mean to
that.
face off.
Yeah.
It means to face forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I'm not a passive person.
Me either.
Like, I'm very verbal. That's why I asked you about them weights.
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
what we doing? You all working out after this? What's going on? I'm a very verbal person. So I'm gonna ask the questions that nobody else will ask. And that's just who I've always been. So literally,
Oh God, it's so funny.
that's what I used to do, right? So now, like I said, I'm more so about guarding and protecting my heart. And so, okay, if I've asked you a lot of things as a friend, and I'm seeing a constant pattern, I may do things that is me protecting myself.
Yep.
So one of my friends called me yesterday, and she was like, Aaliyah, I noticed this thing about you. And she was like, you do this thing, this power play thing, where you like to take your power back from people. And so I know it's not I'm really trying to understand it, right? She was like, I think you have to choose between, are you actually going to do life with people and not try to take your power back every time something happens, or do you just not have them in your life? And so my problem with that is, okay, what is the fine line between doing life with somebody but having boundaries? because I am supposed to have boundaries as a friend. You know, I keep telling you something, you keep hurting me, you keep disappointing me. The same thing is happening. I understand you got stuff going in your life, but I brought this to you numerous times, and this is a boundary for me now. So I won't allow you to keep doing the same thing. So I'll cut you off from a certain area. I'm trying to understand her, you know, as far as like saying like I'm pulling my power back type of thing. But what is the fine line between I'm doing life with you no matter what season and what's going on, but also I have boundaries and I won't let you cross these things.
For sure.
Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense. I think the thing that I would want your friend to elaborate on for you is, hey, can you articulate what me taking my power back means to you? Because that's an experiential thing, right? We could be doing a thing that we do, and people can be experiencing us a myriad of ways, and then I would need her to elaborate on that.
Yeah.
Hey, give me an example.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Give me an example of what you mean when you say that. So I would ask her that. But there's two things.
Okay.
There's two things that I'm interested in, and you've said it 3 times. So I want to kind of parse it out and see where it takes us. So if you keep repeatedly hurting me, that I completely understand.
Yeah.
If you keep repeatedly disappointing me, disappointment and hurt are 2 different things.
Okay.
Okay. Hurt is you've either intentionally or unintentionally caused me harm. I need to protect myself a little bit. If I walk past you and kick your shin, and you move it, and the new position you moved it in, I kick it again, I don't like your shin.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if I keep saying excuse me, it doesn't matter. You got kicked in the shin twice.
Yeah.
So, like, you know what I mean? I need to now wear shin protectors, or I'm not going to be on the couch anymore.
Right, with you.
When you walk in,
Yeah.
I walk out, right? Because this dude kicks shins, right? I don't like this dude. Disappointment is usually caused by an unmet, uncommunicated expectation. Not just an expectation, an uncommunicated one.
Okay.
Right? If you communicate the expectation and they don't meet it, okay, then you've intentionally crossed the boundary.
Okay.
If sometimes we get familiar with in our friendships enough where we assume this person is going to treat me like I treat them, or they will handle the situation the way I would handle it, or they would respond the way I would respond, blah, 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 and we create uncommunicated expectations. Uncommunicated expectations can leave us disappointed, and sometimes that disappointment can lead to being offended.
Okay.
Because I had an expectation of you, you didn't meet it. Therefore, I'm withdrawing. But they also couldn't read your mind. So they didn't even know that they disappointed you.
Yeah.
So I think clarifying if this disappointment is from a person that knows the expectation and chose to not meet it, or if they never knew the expectation and they didn't meet it, and you over there like, there you go again.
Yeah.
I keep expecting you to open the door, but you keep letting me get at the door myself.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I didn't even know you wanted me to get the door. Like, so have you figured out where the disappointment is?
Yeah, and it's definitely communicated. So maybe I'm using the wrong word, because these are things that I say.
Okay, great.
Multiple times. We've had conversations before.
Yeah.
And so I guess it just leaves me like, well, do you care enough? Because I'm verbally telling you like, how I feel about something, and you still not.
That means they don't care.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this takes maturity. People are always talking to us, whether they use words or not. Right? And so if you were to straight out ask the question, do you even care? They would say yes. But then in action,
they'll show the opposite.
They're telling you no. I believe the actions.
Yeah.
I believe the actions. Now, I don't automatically vilify the person. I don't automatically also assume you suck as a person, you're the spawn of Satan, to
That's
hell
so
with
funny.
you. Right? You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah.
I don't do that. What I do recognize though is whether it is conscious or subconscious, they have an inability to keep their word and or an inability to meet the expectation that they had already agreed to.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to keep putting myself in a position for my shin to be kicked.
That's what I feel like I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess from the outside looking in, it can look like, well, I don't know. So what her opinion of like me taking my power back is like, you're uninvited, you're blocked, you're cut off.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, you do this thing where you just like revoke power and you want it back in your control and you want them to know that it is. And you know, that's something that like she just told me that last night. Like I told you, it came up last night and I was like, I'm asking
it was
about
fresh.
that.
It was fresh.
I'm telling you. So even right now, I have no like revelation behind her or anything because I'm still like sitting with the Lord on it because I'm like, dang, I didn't realize I do that. And she was just like, well, it could come from childhood things. And so as I think about it, okay, it's very big. And my friends will tell me to tell anybody this about me. It's important to me that you support me. Come to my shows, support my music, show up to my events while I'm speaking, whatever. Like, come to stuff. The radio show, we have a live audience. Anybody could come any Friday. So when I have friends that I've been friends with for 5+ years, and I've been on a radio show for about 3.5, and you've never been there, every Friday you ain't busy. Okay, every Friday you don't. So as I started to do some search in the back of my mind.
Good.
Because I'm a very self-aware person, and I came to just some things about growing up. Right.
Okay.
I played volleyball for 4.5 years. My parents never been to any volleyball tournament, anything. Same with track meets. I ran track. No. I was on a step team. No. The one thing they did come to was like when I graduated basic training. So that meant a lot to me. But I just started paying attention to like my life and cycles. I didn't have a lot of people that supported me in a lot of things. And so I think that's the reason why it may be a burden to my friends to always want them to be at something. And that's probably one of the things that I could relate to, like what she was saying on the phone. Like I can definitely see what you're saying with that one, because it is so big to me. That's why having a supportive husband was so important to me, and the Lord gave me that. I'm so happy about that. But yeah, if friends that don't like show up, I stopped sending out. So this is the one about disappointment, right? So this one is actually not communicated.
Okay.
I used to send out my flyers for my shows all the time. When enough friends never stop showing up, and it's been months I've been sending out, you got to catch it on Instagram, and I still want you to come. I'm not sending it to you personally no more. I'm just gonna post it on Instagram. You see it, come. And so they wasn't showing up. I didn't know you had a show. I posted it.
Right.
You didn't send it. Well, you didn't come when I sent it. So I think that's where I could use like the disappointment thing at, because I wasn't communicating it. But I do understand though.
Okay. So are you against us going back? Okay. What did it cost Lil Lee to not have her parents at her events? What did it cost you?
I guess I was just about to move that. That's crazy. I guess just seeing the other parents, like kind of embarrassed. Like afterwards, everybody leaving with their people, and I'm by myself. Abandonment for sure. Rejection. Like it make you feel like they don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? And but I grew up really, really fast. So like at 16, I'm already driving to school, taking my little brother to elementary, my sister to middle, going like I'm already doing this in 16 years old. So I grew up super fast. And so I understood that I had a single mom who was taking care of 5 kids, who couldn't come to everything. But I think even understanding that didn't make up for you still not here.
Absolutely correct.
You get what I'm saying? My dad lived in Florida.
Yep.
My dad was in prison for a few years in my life too. So I guess it just cost me like feeling rejected, abandoned, embarrassed that nobody ever showed up. I was on principals list. Nobody's at the award. Nobody at the award ceremonies.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would say those 3 things. So embarrassment, abandonment, and rejection.
Yeah,
it's probably
for
like the biggest things. And then of course like going back to like little 19 and 18 lead, like when I had because my abortions was back to back.
Yep.
So 18 and 19.
Gotcha.
Not I guess even shame.
Yeah, for sure.
Coming with that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Have you ever considered how you felt or made meaning of your family being at your basic training commission?
Yeah.
Because they were there for
They
that,
were there
right?
for that. And
What
that
did
was
that-
in another state.
Yeah.
So I was happy.
Okay, you were happy. And then for the wedding upcoming.
So my mom very involved. She paid for my whole dress and she made all of my bridesmaids bouquets by hand.
Wow.
But my dad actually won't be walking me down. I'll be walking down by myself.
Okay.
And I have this thing, right, that I do, but I really believe it.
Okay.
Right? That I don't care. But I believe it very much. Like, even Lily, we talked about like when I was in high school and then did about stuff. I don't care. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And so even like thinking about my dad thing, you know, my dad told me like, hey, I may not be able to be there, X, Y, and Z. I was like, I don't care. That's just, I don't know. It comes out, but I also feel it to be true. I don't have nothing fighting me saying you actually do. Like, I really honestly feel like I don't care.
Okay.
I know it's kind of crazy.
No, it's not crazy. It's not crazy. I'm trying, based on what you've already said, I'm trying to figure out when you might have turned that off. Like, what game did you play where you didn't care if they were in the stands or not? What track meet were you at where you stopped looking over to compare yourself to the other kids who had parents and who not? Do you know when that happened?
For as long as I can remember, I have not cared. Like, even you know, the spoken word piece I told you I have about my testimony. Even in there, I say I just never cared. I never felt it. Like, I think me getting in a relationship with God, I started to evaluate my feelings more. But before, it was really like, I don't care. So now when I say I don't care about something, I really truly feel like I mean that because I'm more so in tune with my emotions now.
Yeah, for
sure.
sure.
And I understand that feelings are indicators and it's not something that you're supposed to stay in.
Right.
So if I say I don't care now, it's like, I really don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My husband is so nonchalant,
Mm-hmm.
but I hate that he don't care sometimes. I be like,
both of us can't not care.
How do you not
I need you to care because I don't.
Right. So one person has to be the carer.
Yeah.
Okay? One person.
Yo, that's
So,
really funny.
That's how I be feeling sometimes. But yeah, I don't know when that moment was where I turned that switch on. Just be like, I don't care. Could have been a protective thing.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't know when I turned it on. For as long as I can remember, I don't care. And I don't care about a lot of things too. Like, it'd be kind of crazy. Like, even when I talk to like moms now, like my best friend, she's a mom. She has my goddaughter. Her name is Penelope, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like last Easter, she missed her Easter basket thingy. She couldn't come because she's in the military.
Mm-hmm.
And she was crying. I'm like, I would not care about that as a mom.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe because I don't have kids yet, you
Right,
know?
right, for sure.
But it's things that like women say or people say.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, dang, I just really don't care about that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's something wrong with me, but I really don't care about that.
No, I don't think there has to be something wrong with you. I do think that life can make us normalize things that were actually abnormal.
Oh yeah. We just talked about that.
Y'all had just talked about it?
We talked about things in the world, right? So my husband was talking to me about my attitude. So my attitude has come a very from the I don't care girl.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's come a super long way, but that was before I met him. So all he knows right now, my attitude right now, is who I've been, but he don't know how much it took me to not be mean, to not be selfish, to not like all the different things. He don't know what it took me. And so all he sees is my attitude now. He's like, your attitude, you still suck sometimes now.
Right.
But he don't know what I worked through, right? And so he was like, I told him, I said, the reason why I didn't know my attitude was so bad was because when you're living in a world is so normal. Like, for my attitude to be nasty as a woman was so normal in the world that you didn't think your attitude was nasty.
For sure.
You think
Absolutely.
you're regular.
Yeah, exactly right.
He didn't understand. I was telling him this.
Yeah.
And that goes for anything.
Yeah, for
Men dating all these different women, but when a woman do it, like you said,
right, exactly.
We get called names
That's exactly
because
right.
of that.
Absolutely.
But it's normal.
Yep.
So when you get on this side and you see like, oh, this is actually abnormal to what God says is supposed to be, that's when you realize that, dang, society is so crazy.
It is.
It's so messed up because we'll really live our whole life thinking that we're
we still
normal.
Yeah,
Ain't nothing going on. Like, everybody like this.
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
I gotta be a certain type of way? Like,
Exactly.
Everybody marriage like this. It even came to a point where, like, I got cheated on so much in relationships when I was growing up, right? To the point where I had older women even telling me, like, every man is going to cheat. Choose the one that's going to financially take care of you and let him do whatever, as long as you're good. So where I'm from, that's normal.
That's right.
It's so...
They accepted it and they adapted.
It's normal.
Yep.
But now that I have a relationship with God, I'm like, wow, it's so demonic.
It is.
It's so demonic.
It is.
For
Yeah,
us to
facts.
really think that this is okay.
Facts.
It's abnormal.
It is abnormal.
To how God actually created us to
Absolutely
live.
correct.
And it goes completely against the word of God for us to even live that way.
Absolutely correct.
And so, yeah, I thought it was so... We was just talking about that. I was telling him, like, what you say my attitude, how it used to be or whatever. Back then, I didn't think I had to clean my attitude up because everybody was like that.
That's right.
All the women I'm around, all the girls I'm around in school, everybody's like that.
Yeah, for sure.
This is normal. Actually, I was a little bit better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Actually, my attitude wasn't the worst.
Exactly.
Out of them all.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Yeah, I think it's so crazy what we don't see as what we see as normal on the other side of the world, and then we get on this side in the kingdom, and it's like that's actually not
For sure.
biblical.
Absolutely.
Even, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I'll never forget being in a counseling session, and this is years after I started there because I was sexually abused at 8.
Oh.
And porn addict, exposed to porn at 12, highly promiscuous, late teens, early 20s, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff, right? So it took years to, like, sort through that.
Mm-hmm.
And when you got something like an addiction this close to your face, like, that's the only thing you see. And then I finally kind of cleared that stuff out. And then I was just talking one day about just growing up in the hood. I'm like, yeah, my older brother founded a gang, and, I've been held at gunpoint.
Oh, wow.
I've been held at knife point. My homie got shot 5 times in the stomach. I done lost people to gang violence. And, there was a hit on us because they couldn't find my brother at one point
Wow.
by this gang. Like, I say all this kind of stuff. And my therapist is like, oh, Tim.
Yeah.
Oh, honey. You were never supposed to go through that. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Right.
It's normal. It's just the hood.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, honey, you weren't supposed to go through that. I was like, we all went through that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if we go visit our family in LA, depending on what we wore to church, we had an extra change of clothes inside the car just in case we need to change.
Wow.
Because this color ain't gonna fly in this
That's
hood.
crazy.
And so we switched to the neutrals. You know what I'm saying? Put on the gray stuff. And, oh, honey, that should have never happened. But that was my normal.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I live in the suburbs, and actually doing my therapy, I'm like, I think that's abnormal.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody supposed to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody supposed to be thinking like that. Always worried about getting shot, keeping a piece on you just in case something pop off.
Just in case. It's
just in
crazy.
case. Just in case, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's we can normalize stuff that's not normal just to survive the environment we were raised in. You know what I'm saying? And I think for little Lee, for her not to make that adjustment would have made her a depressed little girl.
Mm-hmm.
If you never made that adjustment to, I can't care no more, then I'm just re-traumatizing myself every time I look up.
Suicidal,
Everything, all kind of stuff, right? You would have been an emo.
Stuff.
Black fingernails.
Gothic,
you know what I'm saying?
everything.
You
It would have been crazy.
You would have walked into the army dark.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
There's adjustments that we have to make to survive. We call it adaptive behavior in our youth, or in our adolescence, that once we grow up becomes maladaptive because we don't need it no more.
Yeah.
And so there has to be a reconciliation between the adult in us and the kid in us, where the adult can tell the little kid, hey, we're okay now. Right? People make their own decisions. It kind of hurts, but we're going to be all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because your dad not walking you down the aisle sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pissed. And he's a grown man. He gets to make whatever decision he wants to make. But then also, like, this is a huge miss, my guy.
Huge.
This is a one and done type of situation. Work it out.
Mm-hmm.
This man drove from South Carolina. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But adults get to make their decision, but then they also got to deal with the consequences of their decisions.
And then that's also the like consequence of like having family members that's not saved.
Facts.
Because they don't see.
Not at all. It's still there. You're now out of the abnormality, and they're still in it. And their abnormality is still their normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I get it.
Yeah. So I've been praying for my dad for so much, and he's finally going to a church now.
Oh,
Now,
praise him.
He haven't said he's saved. You know?
Right. But at least he's attending.
But at least he's going. I was getting, and I'm talking about, this is fresh news. I'm talking about like 2-3 weeks ago, we was in a car on the way to church. We go to Change Church with Dr. Darius.
Yeah.
And he literally called me. I was like, "What you doing?" I was like, "You on the way to church? What you doing?" He was like, "I'm on the way to church." I was like, and this is the man who told me like, "No, I do not believe in God. Like, I don't believe in that." You know, the whole white man religion thing. Like, he's still, you know.
Yeah, he on that.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think I know my dad's full story, because I think somewhere he got hurt or something, because his brother is a pastor at his own church. And my family down there know God.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is Florida I'm talking about. So I think somewhere my dad got hurt that I don't know about or something. But my dad also been in prison for like drugs and stuff for like 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if something happened. I have no clue. He's not like an open book. Like
Yeah,
me.
for
Like,
sure.
He don't talk about all this stuff. But I've been praying for him for a long time to get saved. So yeah, it does suck that he's not walking me down. But it's like something in me just don't care though. Like,
Absolutely.
I don't know. I just can't go my whole life like thinking about like what people not doing and won't do for me. So I don't know. So I don't want it to look like I'm taking my power back from anybody. But I am like protecting my heart though. But I know to some people that don't. I don't know.
So let's talk. Let's elaborate on boundaries then.
Okay.
Because you getting comfy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Let's elaborate on some boundaries. So, boundaries are beautiful, right? Blockades are not. Right? A boundary is a gate.
Yeah.
A boundary is a door. Right? Who want to get in a car and ain't got no doors in it? I don't even care if it got a seatbelt. I want a door.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? I would like a door as well. Who wants to live in a house that ain't got a door?
Right.
Who wants to live in a house that has a door but no locks? Who wants to live in a house that has a door but no handles to even turn, right? We need all these things. A blockade becomes a prison where nobody gets in but you don't get out, right? And that'll cause rot emotionally, relationally, spiritually, all that kind of stuff. So when there's been no boundaries, or people are in relationships that have had no boundaries, even the mere sight of offense causes offense.
Wow.
You got a gate up. Like, yeah, I just don't want stray dogs pooping in my yard.
Right. Facts.
Well, I need the gate to come down for me because it seems like you just got a boundary up. And it's a gate. You still have access.
Mm-hmm.
The gate is just there for you to know when you not on my property and when you are.
Mm-hmm.
Our skin, God gave us a boundary. There's a beginning and an end to us, right? I'm not over there. I'm over here.
Yeah. You're
not over here. You're over there. If you come over here, I go over there. That is a boundary issue, right? This is why any type of sexual trauma or abuse is the worst kind, because it's literally a violation, a boundary against your own skin, right? So people that are not used to boundaries have adverse reactions to boundaries. And that's number one. Here's the second thing I'll say. People that are not used to having boundaries enforced also have negative reactions to that. So if I have a sign that says no trespassing, and you see the sign, but you're still not going to do it,
Yeah.
right? If I say, no, it says no trespassing, no soliciting whatsoever, not even if you think it's going to be a good product for me. I have Amazon. I'll find it myself.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? No matter how long the list
is.
right? No matter how long the list is, and they look at it like, nah, but they'll want to hear from me, right? And if I come outside and I say, did you see the sign? And it's like, well, that sign didn't apply to me. Yeah, it did. It does apply to you too. Like it literally goes for everybody. If you saw the sign, right? Like my Julia says to about my boys every day. At some, well, I'm gonna say every day, but almost every day. If you can hunt, you can hear.
Yep.
Right. So if the people have heard your boundary, and you are enforcing that boundary, it doesn't matter how politely you do it. If they're not used to people enforcing boundaries, I'm not responsible for the way you experience my boundary. I'm just responsible for the way I enforce it. I ain't gonna be mean. I ain't gonna call you out your name. I'm gonna be polite. I'm not gonna be rude. But if you still are over there like, oh my God, I can't believe you did this to me, and then that don't have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, nothing. And I didn't understand that the spirit of offense was such a real thing. I learned that like a year and a half ago, like the spirit of offense is so big, and I realized that I had dealt with it a lot because I'm the type of person that like you do something to me and maybe I'll avoid you, or maybe I'll hold a grudge, or maybe I'll, don't want to be around you or whatever. And I didn't realize that was the spirit of offense. And I didn't understand how robbing the spirit of offense could be, especially to relationships. Like if you harbor something, like you let something just fester in your heart and harbor it in your heart and don't have a conversation with that person. I'm about to say this like all the time. Like when you don't forgive, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Facts.
It's so stupid.
Facts. It is.
Like, and I have to tell people all the time, like, you have to forgive people, not for them.
That's
it
right.
don't got nothing to do with them. So even when you're addressing the offense, you're doing it not even just for them, but for you.
Yeah.
Because it's certain things that like I be telling people all the time, like you don't always need an apology, right?
That's right. Absolutely correct.
It's people that are dead that you have to forgive that you will never be able to talk to.
That's right. You can't have that closure, look him in the eye type deal. You're gonna have to say something.
Because I don't believe in closure. And I be telling him that. Especially when it's, okay, you got romantic relationships, right?
Okay.
And you got people that want closure.
Mm-hmm.
What is this going to change when we're done with the conversation? Are we getting back together? If nothing's going to change after the conversation, you forgive me on your time, I forgive you on my time. We don't have to talk. I'm personally just one of those people that it's a waste of time. And what it actually does for me, and this is my experience, it makes us go back. We had a conversation and now we back talking and back. No, it's not what's for.
Yeah.
Like I just never been that person. Like you don't need that. You think that you need that, but if you learn how to forgive without the other person, that's when you've truly forgiven.
So I absolutely agree. Here is the addition I would make to it. What you just described is one way of closure. It's not that it's not closure. It's just closure in the absence of the other person.
Yes.
In some regards, that's healthy, whether the person is alive or not, right? Obviously, if they're not alive, you can't have it. But if they are alive, some people are so toxic, attempting to have the conversation would actually harm you more than it would help you, right? So there is closure in the absence of the individual. The other form of closure is to know when you walk into the conversation what you want the outcome to be. And again, I can only control me. I can't control the other person. But when I sit down and meet with this person, I am meeting with the intentionality of reconciliation. I want the relationship to be restored to its previous place before whatever infraction we had to confront, right? That's one outcome. The other outcome is I want to sit down with this person. They have a narrative and experience they've had with me. I have a narrative and experience that I had with them. I want us to be able to make peace with each other. And I just want to resolve. There's reconciliation and there's resolution.
Yeah.
I want to resolve the conflict that's between us. I'm never going on vacation with this person again. Right? I'm never showing up at your birthday party again. But if I see you at Ralph's, right, I will wave. Like I'm not going to duck out of the aisle and be like, oh my God, they here.
Mm-hmm.
I was just about to check out, but I'm gonna just wait today because I don't want to put. No, I can. Hey, girl. Hey, dude. Hey, I could dap you up in the whole
Yeah.
nine. But like, we not ever gonna restore
Mm-hmm.
back to where we were, because either the infraction was too great, or you're not in a healthy enough place
Yes.
for me to want to have a relationship with you, because all you're gonna do is retoxify
Yeah.
the situation for
Yeah.
me and re-traumatize me in the process, and I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah. I think us as Christians have to start normalizing that we're not healthy enough for certain things. I don't think that we.
That's great.
So I can go back to a time me and my husband, right, a long time ago. My husband, he is Greek. And so he was hanging out with his line brothers or whatever. And I was like, babe, I don't think that you, we was boyfriend and girlfriend. I said, I don't think that you healthy enough to hang with him by yourself. You know, you just rededicated your life to Christ. You know, I don't know. And so he go anyway. And lo and behold, I said, I told you that you wasn't. Now look at you. You know what I'm saying? And so at that point, he didn't believe in like, you don't gotta tell me. I know I'm healthy. I know God.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
like
yeah,
God
yeah.
know my heart.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
He
like
DMX you?
I'm
no.
yes, I'm telling you. That's him. I'm
DMX'd
telling
you.
you. So I think that us as Christians, like for real, like normally I'm not well enough to be in this place yet. And that's okay. It's not when you're still learning and growing, learning whatever season God has you in, you're still in that season. And you say if somebody want to have you around somebody that you just know for a fact it just wouldn't be good if you'd be around them right now, verbalize that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's nothing wrong with saying I'm not well enough, I'm not healthy enough, I'm not healed enough.
Yeah, for sure.
I haven't forgiven fully
Yeah, for sure.
to be in these spaces. That don't mean weak. That don't mean immature.
Yeah.
That don't mean you don't know God. That don't mean none of those things. That just mean that you're not in a space right now to be able to handle whatever is being thrown at you, or be around the person that once hurt you or wounded you. And that's okay.
Yeah, for sure. So, this for me, what you're bringing up, is 2 Corinthians 12. This is the philosophy where I get this from. This is after Paul prays 3 times for the thorn to leave his flesh.
Oh, it is so good.
And, Jesus himself answers, right? My grace is sufficient for you, for power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly in my weaknesses, so that the power of Messiah may dwell in me. For Messiah's sake, then, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in distresses, in persecutions, in calamities. For when I am weak, then I am strong, right? So I was talking about this on our Wide Open show, our morning show. I talk too much now, so maybe it was last week. We do 3 hours a day, so I don't know when. Crazy. I don't know when I said whatever. But I was talking about the fact that I'm 29 years in. When I go to LA, I'm on a short leash. Like there's no link in the chain. There's like one link in between the handle of the leash and the collar, right? And the reason is because that's where I did all my dirt. So I get back in there and there's a familiar spirit in LA, right? And my flesh wakes up instantly, like, my nigga, we can still get it poppin'. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm 29 years in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost with a right mind in front of fire. You know what I'm saying? I'm all the things, right? And there's still a nigga in here.
Yeah.
And that nigga will act up in a hot minute. You know what I mean? And so I know I'm familiar with that old man. That's why he has to be crucified present tense, right? I am crucified with Christ.
Yes.
Not I was.
Yeah.
Not I will be. I am crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but him that dwells in me. But Christ that dwells in me. With that said, when I go to LA, I can't get romantically involved with like, oh man, I remember when we was out here and let me call the homies and all that. Cause that's like 82 banana peels on the floor.
Yep.
On a street that's already angled, you know what I mean? Like this. It ain't like this, right? It's like this. And so I trust the Holy Ghost and my discipline. I don't trust my flesh, and my flesh dwelleth no good thing. I don't trust it. Yeah. That way I won't put myself in a situation, because if there's an inch taken, I will take 20 miles and not a mile. I'll take 20. I'll take 100, right? So I just can't even be in that type of atmosphere. And that's just a discipline that has to be created because we are, as much as I love the Lord, I just don't trust my flesh. I haven't prayed enough, fasted enough, read my Bible enough to be like, oh yeah, if I'm a diabetic, I'm going to walk inside Krispy Kreme and just ask for a bottle of water.
That's crazy.
Not when that hot and fresh sign is on.
Please.
When that glaze is still glistening, like, you know what I'm saying? It hasn't even, I mean, you just glazed the donut. I don't think I should be here right now. I think I need the dip. So in the same way, alcoholics should not go to the liquor store, you know what I'm saying? To pick up a bag of chips.
Yep.
You got to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that I feel like we have to be aware of environments, atmospheres, and be honest about what we're familiar with.
Yes.
I ain't tempted by everything. You could lay a bag of weed, a pound of it here, a kilo of coke right here, and a whole lab full of crystal meth that Walter White made himself. It'll stay here for a month.
Yeah.
I ain't got no problem with none of that. Everything I just listed, I ain't got a problem with none of it. If you put a Dutch apple pie a la mode right there, knowing I'm raw vegan, I will be over here like, I gotta leave. I gotta leave I gotta go downstairs and not come back upstairs.
Yeah.
I'll send my sons upstairs who don't struggle with this, who are allergic to this, to do this, because if I put myself in the same spot. So I think I read that because I glory in that type of weakness.
Yeah.
I know I'm too weak for LA. That's why the Lord delivered me from it and I can't live back in LA. I can never live back in LA. I love LA. I love LA. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Dallas walking around LA like, you know where I'm from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How many times you go back? Maybe twice a year. Because no, I can't do it. So like that level of like honesty is important for us to like understand how we turn like a victorious lifestyle into a normal lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it's because you admit that there's just certain things I should not be doing.
So, but what does that look like though? Like as far as like so like you come from LA, right? And you removing or walking out these like these familiar spirits. And so I'm pretty sure it took you a while, but what was that process like, the day-to-day like for making sure you don't fall back into like the familiar spirits?
Yeah, so first of all, Dallas dried me out.
Okay.
Right? Like this different, like Dallas is slower than LA. I ain't gonna say the people are slow. I used to say the people are slow. It's just the pace is different than LA. You know, I found Juliet. She's Afro-Caribbean. Girl is bad, right? That's
I love that.
that nigga right there though. That's mine, right? So love her. But like I'm not attracted to nobody out here like that. You know what I'm saying? LA, it's too much. It's too much because them Cali girls is who I grew up with them. That bop is a different bop, and I can't be around that bop, right? Juliet got saved when she was 9.
Oh, okay.
She missed everything, right? So he gave me the antithesis of what I was used to, which also helped to dry me out, right? And then he put me in ministry. He had to give me something big to do because I'd have been bored and backslid, right?
Yeah.
It was bad enough that I was still dealing with my addictions with the call of God on my life, right? So, but all that stuff dries out. And then my connection to those friends naturally began to get more and more infrequent. Not because, oh, that nigga think he better than us now. He got saved and he moved to blah, 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 blah. Oh, you still can't kick it with the homies? I still talk to him sometimes, but it just became more and more infrequent because I got married. Then I'm focused on my wife. I'm focused on my family. I'm focused on ministry, whatever I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And when I talk to him, the conversation, it's like they still smoking weed in the garage. Like 10 years after I got saved. What you doing? Oh, we just came from the metro. Nigga, the same club we was going to as teenagers.
That's crazy.
You in your late 20s, early 30s, you still going to the Metro in Riverside? My God. Like, what are you doing with your whole life? Oh, he rolling a blunt right now. Nigga, still? Right now? You're still doing it? So it became more infrequent to the point that it wasn't like I had to like slice anybody off. It's just the lifestyle took us apart. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I'll be talking to my husband about that sometimes. I feel like when we in his city, he talk different.
Oh, I know I do.
I'll be like, babe, now if we was at home right now, you would have said this. Why you say that? Why
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
I'm like, no, you need to learn how to, differentiate the two. Like,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's just a thing that we both still walking out too, though. Like sometimes, Lee come out of me sometimes.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Sometimes it be so tough to like, if you so used to like being a certain type or reacting, I'll say reacting because it's mostly like when people do something to me. Like for example, on our way here, we got a hotel by the airport on purpose so we can get a shuttle, right? We have to pay for Uber.
Mm-hmm. I got a cheat code for y'all next time y'all come.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Man, that shuttle, we called him at like 10:50, said we outside. And that's when we was still on the plane. We did it on purpose. They didn't come till midnight.
10:50?
When the man pulled up, I was pissed. Like my husband said, like, stop talking like that. I was pissed. I was mad.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm like, we called this long ago. We've been sitting out here for this long. He said, I came past this already. When? We've been sitting right here for 40 minutes. What are you talking about? Like, and it came out, and I immediately repented, like, Lord, I'm sorry. Because
But an hour and 10 minutes is the thing.
It's crazy. One lady said she was waiting from 9:30.
No, ma'am.
She said she was waiting from 9:30.
I'd have paid that Uber for $7.
But guess what? No. That's why
You stood on principle. You said.
But our hotel was 4 minutes away. Guess how much the Uber wanted?
$20-something.
$30.
Yeah, because it
for
was the
4
airport.
minutes away.
Yeah, because you was in the airport and they tax you.
I said,
hey, let me give you the cheat code so this never happens to you again.
Yeah, tell us, please.
So next time you come here, you're gonna book in Terminal D, Grand Hyatt Hotel.
Okay.
The Grand Hyatt Hotel is in Terminal D.
What?
Yes.
That's
so
crazy.
it's right within the airport. So when I used to go to I traveled to Australia a bunch, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I come home, the international flights fly into Terminal D. So I didn't have to like get the Skylink, but even if you do, it's not a big deal. Because I didn't want to come home jet lagged when my boys were younger, I would stay at I would come home, check into DFW Grand Hyatt, sleep, have an extra key waiting for Juliet. She'd come that night, okay? We would reunite, okay? And then in the morning, then we dip and come home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but if you're here like for a quick trip or something like that, just stay in the airport. That way you ain't got to get one bite. And the DFW Grand Hyatt is bomb.
I can't believe they got an airport in there. I mean,
they got
hotel
two.
in there.
They got two. They got two hotels in there. The Hyatt, the regular Hyatt, is in Terminal C. Don't go to that one. Terminal D, Grand Hyatt, Gucci.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish you would have knew that.
Oh yeah. Nah. You put on game though next time though. Next time you come through, stay right there. You ain't got to worry about no shuttle. And that way, when you get an Uber, you get in and out, but they dropping you back off inside the airport. And even if you left out of Terminal A, you just get up in the morning, jump on the Skylink to Terminal A, bang, get on your plane and dip.
That is crazy.
And like you're in the airport already. Like
hey,
you can go check in.
Remember that.
It's fire. It's fire.
Yeah, we have to remember that for sure.
Yeah. So you ain't got to go through that again. But you're right. Like the old us is ever present.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Romans 8 says that our flesh, my paraphrase, but my flesh, your flesh, I always put it in first person. My flesh is at enmity with God.
Mm-hmm.
It never did obey God's laws and it never will.
Yeah. One of my friends, she said this way, and I love it. She said you'll always go back to your default setting. She was like, it doesn't matter. Like that's any situation, like you'll always go back to, even when you're actively working on something, right? So like you'll talk to the Lord about, I don't know, your attitude, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When things happen, because we are just normal or human, you'll automatically go back to your default setting because it's like it's so second. It's in you.
That, one of the ways they used to and this was during the Cold War era, like the 80s when Russia and the United States was just like spying on each other, right? All the time. Well, you had Russians posing as Americans and Americans posing as Russians, because white people get to do that, right? They get to be white.
Yeah.
Right. And they can be white everywhere, right? You know what I mean? We don't get to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely
you can't
not.
drop us off in Africa and then they be like, who are you?
Yeah.
Where are you from? You are
How
not
can
from
you do this accent so good? I can't do no accent.
You are not from here. Right? So I'm not even saying I'm doing it good. I just be throwing myself out there. Anyway, so what they would do sometimes to figure out if this person was a spy or not is that they would create a scenario to startle them or to scare them, because
It will come out.
in a moment of panic or fear, you will revert to your default.
That's crazy.
So
That's so smart.
So sometimes there were cases where somebody was startled, and if they were posing as an American and talking English, American accent, they would say something in Russian. And they would be like, gotcha. Or vice versa. And that's how they would know.
That's crazy. But that literally goes hand in hand with that. That's so true.
Yeah.
I never even knew that.
Yeah. So, but if we're not aware of our default, though, and that's why I think Paul, 2 Corinthians chapter number 12 is such a cheat code. Paul is saying, like, I know I glory in my weaknesses. Like, I'm going to just tell everybody what they are. That way, like, I don't have to, because if I'm playing myself, like, I don't even know, like, that don't bother me. You about to fall. Yeah, so I'm not for none of that.
Yeah, I'm not like you with the weed thing.
Got you. Yeah, bag of weed.
Yeah,
you
so
would have to move around.
Right now, sometimes when I smell it, I be like,
smells like fresh baked cookies.
like I'm telling you. But
Ooh,
I haven't.
Popping fresh weed.
I'm telling you, that's how it was though. But it's been like 4 years now since I smoked. But that was so hard.
Yeah, for sure.
That was so hard for me. That premarital sex.
Yep.
What else? Cussing. Oh my God, cussing was real bad for me.
Yep.
And I'm not 100%. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just my attitude for real. Just had a really nasty attitude.
Yeah. I used to be a battle rapper, and
this was in LA or
LA and here. When I first moved here, I was still battle rapping.
Okay, is that how you know Street?
No.
That's crazy.
Street. I met Street years later, and URL didn't exist when we were coming up, right? You had to drop a beat, like you had to do it to a beat, to an instrumental. I wish they would have just took all the beats away and just let you spit. It's past my time now, so my brain can't even think like that, and I don't have the memory that they have. I'm used to writing songs and lyrics and hooks and all that kind of stuff. I'm not used to like basically taking a Mark Twain chapter of a book and spitting it for 11 minutes. You know what I'm saying? That like I would literally be like on page, nigga, I'm about to kill you. But the like I would like hold on. This next thing I wrote is really dope.
Turn the page.
Yeah, I would have to turn the page because my memory don't work like that. I can't remember all the lyrics I laid down on tracks unless I'm performing them. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I'm starting to get to that right now though. Cause
Are you really?
So like Out the Mud, I haven't performed it in a while, but that's like my first song ever, and I used to perform it all the time. And recently, I forgot who I was talking to. Something was happening where, one of my friends texted me and she said, the lyrics to Out the Mud is not on Apple Music. What are the lyrics? I'm trying to learn this part. And I was like, easy. So I started typing to her. I said, I had to go listen to my song.
You like, what did I say?
I said,
it's real.
How does the verse start?
Yeah,
I couldn't even remember how it started. So I think it's even crazy that you just asked me since I just told you what the hook was. I just didn't even remember the hook.
Yeah, for sure.
A few days ago. And I was like, what's happening?
Yeah.
But I'm also in the studio a lot more now. Like, I'm starting to have, like, last week, I think I was in the studio. I had, like, 4 sessions. And I was so tired. My husband texted me, like, you got to come home, right? You got a husband at home that I'm hungry. I was like, your food is already in the fridge. Please let me finish this song, please.
Okay. Let's talk about something real quick.
What?
Let's talk about something real quick. All right. I want to talk about this real quick. All right. You a Southern girl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you cook for your man. And you write raps and you do this and you got a job, but you make this dude a plate.
Mhm.
Help the people now.
How- That is so funny. I think a part of it is like the type of man that you have too. My husband's non-negotiable was a woman who can cook. He didn't so he moved to Atlanta 2 years in, he was eating out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So when he met me and the first meal I cooked him, he could tell you he loved, like, he always talk about this. The first meal I cooked him some smothered salmon with this little sauce that I do with some spinach and some rice, whatever. This man knew from then, like, oh yeah, you're gonna be my wife. Like, cook just cause food. But it's just the type of woman that I am, and it may do have something to do with me being from the South. I just have to make sure my man is like just taken care of in that way. My husband works and he goes to work at 3 a.m. He always know my lunchbox is in the fridge, fully packed before we go to bed that night. Meaning it's meal, snacks, and drink. And my husband also have diabetes. So it's also a sweet thing for if his sugar drops.
Yep.
I have alerts on my phone for when his sugar drops. Hey, you need to go drink some water. Hey, go look in your lunch bag on this side is some Sour Patches. Your sugar's low. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never played about that. Like, taking care of my man. And so, and I was a chef in the military. That was my job. So
That's why he drove to South Carolina. He said, Master Chef, I'm going to need this meal.
And I'm cooking for about 1,200 soldiers in the field. So I know how to cook for like massive crowds too. And then I got a big family. I'm going to have 5 kids plus her. So I used to cook like for my family. I used to sell plates in high school.
Wow.
Yeah. So because I already love cooking and because like I'm the type of woman that's going to bring you the plate, soon take a bite, how it tastes. I'm sitting there, I want to tell me immediately. He be like, hey, I ain't even got the flavors in my mouth yet. I don't know. But I want to know, like, what you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I believe that cooking is starting to become a love language for me. Also, him telling me what he wants me to cook. It's a challenge. It's exciting. Like, when I go to the grocery store, he like, get whatever. I hate that. What do you want to eat? What do you want me to cook?
All right, hold on. Take it. I want to go slower, okay? I want to go slower because... And you can tell me if I'm off, if I've misread.
Okay.
Your peers in your generation, other women in your generation. There seems to be a growing dissent of women who are like, listen, my husband needs to cook for me as much as I cook for him. Everything needs to be 50-50. I'm not going to be no woman that's just bound to no kitchen. I got a life too. I work too. I got a career too. Boppity boop, 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 boop. Now, he didn't leave you with an uncommunicated expectation. It sounds like he told you up front, this is what I wanted, which means you got to opt in.
Yep.
You consented to it, right?
Yep.
But y'all seem to be unicorns. I mean, Dez drives from Detroit to South Carolina.
No, Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta. I was about to say, because if you did that in 4.5 hours.
No, that was Atlanta.
He had 20 cops behind him. Like, okay, Atlanta. All right, that makes it a little
that
better.
would have been, he had to do 190 the whole way for that. That's crazy.
Okay. So, okay, that's a little bit better.
Okay.
But still, to bone out in the middle of the night, you know what I'm saying? Leave at 2 a.m.
After working. He got off at 2 a.m.
Yeah, he got off at 2 a.m., jumps in the whip, sleeps in the car to come holler at you.
A car that was running hot.
A car that was because he rode that thing all night.
I'm telling you.
He didn't check the radiator or nothing, Jesus. He was
Nothing.
just like, you can die when I get there, right? You know what I'm
I'll
saying?
figure it out from there.
I'll figure it out from there, right? So he's already a rare breed because there's just a lot of men out here that's playing games. I can speak to that. I speak to men all the time. I'm good with that. I disciple men. It's great. My daddy discipled me. All good. But these ladies are on some like extra feministic, you know what I'm saying? Even as believers, like they are on some like, I can do everything you can do and probably a little bit better. And there seems to be a organic, traditional way that your roles are playing out that I just find refreshing, and it's kind of rare to hear.
Yeah. I prayed before I was married about being a submissive wife. And so being a submissive wife is important to me. So when I read in Proverbs and it says that, you know, the wife wakes up before the family and prepares the day, then that means with my husband, I wake up every day before him. Unless he's going to work at that 3 a.m. shift, I'm up every day before this man, and breakfast is being brought to him. If I'm working or whatever and he's home.
But wait, Queen Lee, you're the rapper. You're the I renamed your company. I don't even know if you have a company for your lashes, but I renamed it Lashing Out in my mind.
Oh, that's so dope.
I know, that's why I renamed it. But I never heard the first name. I don't even know if you have a business name for it. But I was like, Lashing Out. It sounds like it would be the most fire name for.
That is dope.
Anyway,
I love it.
So it's yours if you want it. Okay. No royalties. It's just yours for free. But if it blows up, just remember me. But
I got you.
no, I'm just playing. So, but like you got a lot going on.
Yeah.
You could justify being like, yeah, like we just kind of play our parts, and when he get home, he know I got to be in the studio, so I don't see what the big deal is. Like,
although I got a lot going on, I care more so about my husband not feeling, when he is overwhelmed, it drives me crazy.
Understood.
When he is stressed out about finances and about his clothing line and about orders, and it's a different temperature in the house. And I don't like that.
All right, okay, but go slow. Go slow. Because we usually hear this type of narrative from a woman in her 40s, 50s, 60s.
Wow.
Trying to tell women your age. And women your age are kind of like, yeah, that was your generation. It's different now. This is a rare, I know you know. You know. That's why you drove. No, I'm not going to let that go. No. This dude knew. You had options. You knew. This ain't the norm. You do know you're not normal. In this regard.
I think I'm understanding, like, even with this conversation, I think I'm seeing it more now, but I'm not gonna lie, like, sometimes I feel like that definitely should be normal though. Like, I don't know. So even like when I hear like some of my single friends talk about the type of man that they think that God is, the Ken Barbie that God is going to drop to them, right? Mm-hmm. I remember I had that same mindset. Mm-hmm. And they be like, yeah, my man need to be fit. You don't work out. I never see you go to the gym. So how are you expecting a man that don't do nothing? You don't even do it.
Your fupa has a fupa.
And oh my God.
And you want him to have a six-pack.
I'm telling you, I've never seen you lift a weight, do a jumping jack.
No squats, nowhere.
Nothing. And so I think some things are just unrealistic. I think I'm more realistic. I remember I talked to my husband about marriage before we got married. He said, "Hey, you think marriage is gonna be cookie cutter, whatever," and the roles have flipped. My husband expected that more than me. When stuff happened to us, I'm like, it's gonna happen. We married. Let's do this. He like, but it's supposed to be, no, it's still life. We're just married in life. So I think it's so crazy, like how the roles have. I'm such a realistic person. Nothing is not too crazy to happen to you. Nothing is far fetched. Like
for sure.
it's not.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So just
absolutely.
being realistic. If I know that I want my man who pays the bills of this house to come home and be able to relax. For example, right? We just got our house in January, and so
Congratulations.
thank you. He wanted a man cave, and I wanted my own room too. So we got a 4-bedroom. It's just us, and we still got a 4-bedroom.
Yeah, for sure.
And I knew, calculating his checks and calculating what he's making, I knew that with you still paying for my ring and paying for this house and stuff like that, you won't have much time or money to get your man cave up. So what I did was I took money out of my savings and I gave it to my husband and I said, buy everything you want for your man cave because I don't want you to come home for a house that you're paying for and not want to be in there. I don't want you to do that. You're going to come here and be mad every time you come home because you don't have enough money to build the room up that you want to sit in. And then I paid for him a new PC. Like for Valentine's Day, that's what I wanted to get my man. I want to get him a PC. Like that's what I want to do because I want you to I don't want you to come home miserable and go into this empty room, but you're paying so much for this house monthly. I don't want that. I'm so interested to know the scripture that you're about to pull out. The page is flipping.
An accomplished woman who can find. Her value is far beyond rubies. Her husband's heart trusts in her and he lacks nothing valuable. She brings him good and not harm all the days of her life. I'm going to just stop right there. Because you started this by saying, I pray to be what the Bible described as a good wife.
Mm-hmm.
Not informed by Oprah Winfrey's book club.
Mm-hmm.
Not informed by Gail's podcast.
Yeah.
Not informed by I forgot the girl. Oh,
Cardi B?
not informed by Cardi
Not
B.
you had to make the sound.
I had to. The girl, I was looking right at her face. I couldn't think of her name. I'm just saying, you sound like a woman who I here's the thing that's refreshing to me. I know a lot of women can quote scripture up and down, but when it come down to the roles of being a godly wife, they get amnesia. They play duck, duck, goose with the text.
That's T.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of women aspiring to be Proverbs 31, but they didn't even read Proverbs 1.
Because it also talks about the woman you're not supposed to be. Please.
So this is just, I didn't expect, this is like a delightful surprise for me. I did not expect, not that I didn't have an expectation. I didn't think we'd be talking about relationships like this.
Yeah.
But you sound like a very accomplished woman who has a career and talent and gifts and then can come home and be hella domesticated.
I'm trying. I promise I'm trying. My best. I'm trying because I'm new at this too. We have only a few months in. We're not even at a year yet.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
So I'm.
But being that's your intentional, that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about like, you know what, I found out that once to get married, you guys say changing for a nigga, so I'm trying my best. Like you, this has been your heart's desire and your prayer.
Yes.
I don't think a lot of women know. I think you either gonna help or inflame a lot of wives with the way you're talking, because I just don't even think they know how important a meal is. Dang.
Yeah.
You checking bros glucose levels
For sure.
on the app.
It's so crazy. Like
You
it's
got
it's
Sour
crazy.
Patch Kids in the zipper.
I do.
Open
In the
it up.
Bag. I do.
Wow.
Yeah,
yo.
I try for real, and I send him notes while he at work and put it in his lunchbox and stuff. So that I just be wanting him to just like, I don't know, like, especially when it comes to his business and everything. Like, I just want to see his business do good. I just want to see him not worry. I want to see him dream with the Lord. He stopped dreaming with the Lord because he's fearful that things won't come to pass. I want to see him dream and dream big, not like give the Lord small things. Like, no, things that you wouldn't even think or imagine would ever happen. That's what I want to see him do.
She selects wool and flax, and her hands work willingly. She is like merchant ships, bringing her sustenance from afar. She rises while it is still night and provides food for her household and portions for her servant girls. She considers a field and buys it. From the fruit of her hands, she plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength and invigorates her arms. She discerns that her business is good. Her lamp never goes out at night. She extends her hands to the spindle, and her palm grasps the spinning wheel. She spreads out her palms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of snow for her house, for her whole household is clothed in scarlet wool. She makes her own luxurious coverings. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gates.
Please.
When he sits among the elders of the land, she makes linen garments and sells them and supplies sashes to the merchants.
Bruh.
Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the days to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom. A lesson of kindness is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household, and she does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and bless her. Her husband also praises her. Many daughters have excelled, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman who adores Adonai will be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands. Let her deeds be her praise at the gates.
That's crazy. I think one of the most difficult things, like lessons that I learned before getting married, was like the nagging wife thing. And the Lord had to take me, I can't remember what verse it is, I want to say. I can't remember. It's one of the letters though. And the Lord showed me how beautiful he thought that having a quiet and a gentle spirit was. And I was so rah-rah. Like one thing that humbled me that my husband said to me, because we had this conversation before we got married, we said, what is one reason that you would leave me that doesn't have to do with cheating? Because a lot of people think that cheating is the only way people...
The penultimate. Yeah.
But I think that it's a lot of ways that people leave. And so I asked him before we got married, he asked me, I said... Y'all
really mature to be asking questions like this.
That's crazy because we don't.
I know y'all trying to still figure it out, but these are some like great questions to ask outside of a premarital type of
I'm so glad to hear that.
No, for sure. Absolutely. It's
but yeah, I asked him that, and my husband said, sometimes it feel like you give me an assignment and I'm working on it, but you give me another one before I have time to complete the last one. And he was saying that in a sense of like, I always have something to say about what he's doing wrong. And I sat with that because he was like, if that continues, I won't marry you. Because I will continually feel like I'm not enough for you and that you deserve better than me and that I can't get it right. And that, it brought tears to my eyes. Like, it really, like, did a lot for me.
Yeah, for sure.
And so the Lord told me 2 specific married women to go to. This when I was in California going to the DTS. And I went to them. I said, y'all, I'm on a demonic attack. My mouth won't stop. I can't not tell him what he's doing wrong.
I'm under demonic attack is hilarious.
Because I couldn't stop. I was like, how do you not say something when they doing something wrong? Like, how do you not? And they laughed at me and they prayed with me. And the Lord said, if it's not detrimental to your relationship, don't say nothing about it. Just bring it to me. And so what I started doing was, your
soul is old.
Really?
I'm sorry. Your soul is 88.
That's crazy to me. That's what he said. He was like, if it's not detrimental, if y'all not ending because of it, like, just come to me. So it was one thing that my husband did, and I said, and I was going to say something, and I was like, let me go. I was like, I'm about to go spend time in prayer. And I'm gonna spend time with the Lord. And I told him what I didn't like, how it made me feel, X, Y, and Z. A few hours later, my husband came to me. He said, the Holy Spirit told me that I should never said this to you, and I'm sorry. And he said, I want to repent to you because I shouldn't say that to you. I shouldn't talk to you like that. I shouldn't, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it showed me the power of going to the manufacturer about the product. Like, I don't have to.
Your soul is old.
That's so funny.
My God.
Like, I don't have to go to him just because something is wrong. I can go to the Father. He loves me that much that he will correct his son. And he will tell me what I did to cause it, too. So I started doing that more. And it just started helping. It helped him to not feel like so nagged by me. Am I 100% perfect? No. But I've gotten a lot better. And I just really try to watch whatever I'm saying to him if it's not that important. Like, especially, oh my God, arguments on the way to church, they are sent by the enemy. I'm telling you, y'all riding 45 minutes to church and y'all arguing, it is the enemy. Don't want y'all to be on good terms at church.
Absolutely.
To be able to receive.
It's so true. It's so true.
Because all you're thinking about while the pastor is preaching is how he just pissed you off in the car.
That's right.
So I think that was the main thing. Like, oh, I'm deaf, especially when we're going to a ministry moment, I'm deaf. I don't care what you do. I'm not about to let us argue because I won't be able to receive.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I have hope for the future.
I'm glad.
Man, as soon as y'all hit like 10 years, please do a marriage conference.
The Lord has showed me in my dreams. The Lord showed me a marriage conference. But look, in Africa.
Of course it's in Africa.
And this is before we were even married. I saw us in Africa doing a marriage conference. And I'm like, Africa? And then the Lord also gave me this crazy idea for singles that I was going to do when I got married. That like me and my husband would like sit down and interview singles. And like we hear from the Lord if you're ready to be married. And then you get invited to like this single mingles night. It's so crazy. I can't wait to do it.
Oh, it's fire. Yeah, get 10 underneath your belt first. Yeah. And then go ham. Because like, yo, y'all talking like we counseling folks in their 40s. Been married close to 2 decades, ain't got the sense y'all got.
It's crazy.
And again, I know y'all trying to figure it out. I'm not saying every day is perfect, nothing like that. But y'all have, like when you buy a house that you know needs to be renovated, but what they say is the house has good bones. Mm-hmm. The structure of it is so good that it don't matter what we gotta like knock out or tear down or renovate, it's gonna be bomb at the end. Y'all's relationship got really good bones to it.
Thank you, Jesus.
Oh my God. It's like, what?
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Jesus, for bringing these two together.
Thank you,
God,
Lord.
out of Zion. God, thank you for the African man popping up in the dreams. Sometimes you got to pop out and prophesy.
No.
Certified African. I'm the
Can
one.
You stop?
I can't. No.
Like what?
This is who I am. That's who I am. You came. You came here. You came to my house.
That is so funny. That is so crazy.
Oh my God. No, this is like very refreshing.
I'm so glad though, because our generation isn't not lost. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it's not. And after talking to you, it's not just lost. I'm like very hopeful.
Please be. Yes.
Very, very hopeful. I'm not one of these people that looks at the next generation and it's like, oh, they're not gonna be able to make it.
No, I could tell you not.
Nah, I'm not that person.
No,
I'm not
at all.
I'm a lifelong learner, and my memory ain't short. So I could talk to somebody. I still preach at youth conferences.
Yeah.
I
know they can receive from you.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I know
be
they
in
can.
there. I mean, I got a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I told the Lord, like, please don't let me have preached to all these young people and young adult people, like over 30 years, close to 30 years, and then I can't reach my own son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm happy to walk with them through their mud.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The mud of their teenage years and where they make mistakes and where they need to get off course and how to get them back on course. But like, I think older people, Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I think I've been alive long enough to say this. I think older people get to a point or age and stage, whether it's in life or in ministry or their careers, where they don't want to learn anymore. Therefore, whatever they learned becomes the truth, even if there's an update.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's like, I know you bought the iPhone 17, but there's a 17.1 update just to make sure the software stays up to date. And it's like, no, the way I bought it is the way it is, and it's perfect. And it's like, no, it's not.
Yeah, I think that older people do get to this place of like a rival. Like, I've been doing this walk for so long. I'm so good. But, this is the thing that irritates me, right? You see older people in the same places that they've been in for a very long time. And I asked the Lord why. I was like, why so many older people from older generations, like, so deep in you and all these different things or whatever, and, can quote all these scriptures and tell us all this stuff, but they're in the same place and they've been in. And the Lord was like, they don't fully acknowledge the things that they need to in order to be able to grow. And they are so settled. This is what the Lord told me. I had to write it down. They are so settled in their ways of thinking because they think that they're just at this level that they can't, like, even out of the mouth of the babes, anybody, you can hear from us.
Facts.
And then this generation, in my opinion, is the most radical. We don't play about the gospel.
Facts.
And we don't care who we run into, you're going to get this gospel.
Absolutely
And
correct.
then guess what? You don't receive it, cool. Dust my seed off, I'm going to the next town.
That's right.
We don't care.
Yeah, for sure.
But we're not going to play about you receiving it. And so it's this statistic that showed that 80% of Gen Z will share their gospel before millennials. And even though I love,
80%.
80%.
Because they about that life. When they get it, when they really place their faith in Jesus, they go
don't play
all
around.
In.
And we vocal, we radical, we on whatever. It don't matter what it's in, we're saying it. And so it's a lot of people that, believe like, you shouldn't bring Jesus into the work field and stuff like that or whatever. I have this one client, and although I know it's like frowned upon in corporations and stuff, I have this one client, she's a teacher. And they do this thing every year where, your class has to battle the other grades and do a rap, do a whole song, and you have to present it in front of the whole school.
Fire.
And she chose the Christian hip hop song by Caleb Gordon, the war song. She chose that. She said, whatever instrumental we sliding on, it's going to be already glorified by God. And I just feel like it's subliminal ways that you can bring God
for
in
sure.
without
Absolutely.
you having to literally, lose your job over bringing up religion or politics. You know how it is when you work it. So I'm just like, it's definitely ways that you can implement these things and making sure that you're standing firm on your faith and not like budging.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, I appreciate that. No, you're absolutely right. Like like, so here's the thought I had. Now, disclaimer. Could it be a little bit petty? Maybe. But let me just say my point. Because it might not be. But I don't know sometimes. Like, if a pastor who's 72 has a membership of 48, and you talking about, here's the problem. The reason why we ain't got more people in this church is because folks don't want the real holiness. And people don't really want to glorify God the way he's supposed to be glorified. And it's like, maybe it's because you're 72 and 30 of the 48 people have your same last name because they're all family. This is just a family reunion. You have a small group, sir. This isn't just a glorified life group. Maybe God called you and then hung up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're, let's just say at the watermark of your pastorate, you got up to like 310 people. And then that was like between, let's say if you've been in ministry 40 years, let's say that happened between year 0 to 12.
Yeah.
Then from 12 to 40, maybe he had hung up. And maybe you were supposed to go do something else, and
Yeah.
somebody else was supposed to take it from 310 to like 550. Maybe that person was supposed to take it from 550
But they don't
to
want to
1,000.
pass the torch, though. They don't want to pass the torch. Listen, I heard somebody say this at my school. I'm starting to remember it, babe. But I heard somebody say this at the school that I went to. They said the killers of the new revival is the ones who led it in the last revival.
That's facts.
I believe that is absolutely true.
Absolutely correct.
Because they look at God as supposed to come in only one rendition. It's
That's
only
right.
one way God can come. It's
That's
only
exact-
one. We got to fall out in the Holy Ghost, and we got to.
Yeah.
No, actually, God wants me to rap.
Yeah.
No, actually, God wants me to do art, and I can preach the gospel through my art. No, actually, God wants me to sell merch.
That's right.
And make it so like my husband's clothing line. The reason why it's on the back and it's so big and bold, Jesus set me free, is so that when I'm walking, you can see this and you can come up to me, and that becomes a evangelistic
That's
tool.
right. Absolutely correct.
It's a tool for me to talk to you about the gospel,
That's
and that's
right.
what He uses it for.
That's right.
So I think the cap on the gospel in the new generation, the old generation is like
us.
It
can be us.
It can be. It
That's
can
right.
be because you quench the spirit.
That's right.
By not allowing every expression that the Lord has. God wouldn't have created so many different occupations if we wasn't supposed to glorify Him in all of them. We are. Everything
Yeah.
that we do is supposed to glorify God.
That's right.
So if you quench what God is giving me and I can't even, you won't let me perform at your church and reach the Gen Alpha, I can't reach them. That's what they want.
That's right.
They don't want the organs and the stomping in the they
No,
don't.
that's not what they
That's
want.
not what they want.
They
So
want you to
if
drop
you
that
if you
808.
get Christian hip hop artists,
Yeah, they want that trap beat.
they do. They
Where the
want
trap
like
beat
my
at?
husband. He love 808s.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Yeah, for sure.
They want a beat that's gonna make their head thump, and then they be like, "Oh, they talking about God."
Yeah.
Like that's what they want.
Yeah.
So
you can't knock an organ.
they really don't. They not understanding it. And I feel like when the older generation understands that God is not in a box, that He's not only coming in one expression, that He's coming through a lot of different ways and a lot of different people, and people that may have been in the world crazy, and that you can see the world on them, meaning tattoos and dreads and all these stuff that people don't approve of.
Right.
When you can see God, when you can see people from their heavenly perspective,
Yeah.
that's when you'll see revival. You'll see change in your church.
It would also be good to like for us to remind the older generation that God don't sound like you.
At all.
That old way of talking.
Mm-mm.
God don't sound like that. God don't even talk English. Like, He talks all languages. He created all languages. But He don't sound like you. The fact that we think even the sound belongs to like a certain denomination or a certain group of people, it's like He don't sound like. Yeah. You've made me happy today, Queen Lee. I just feel really, I feel really excited about you young peoples.
I'm so happy about that.
I really believe God's going to use you in a mighty way. I believe God's going to use you, and He going to get the glory out of you. And I may not understand all the boopity bop, but God does. And as long as you reaching people for Jesus, I believe He going to say amen.
I think that's all that. If they can just say, if they can just understand that.
If they could just say it. Because a lot of these people ain't handing over batons, they handing over bones.
Wow, it's all like stuff be dead.
They either handing over bones because they too old, or they handing over sticks of dynamite because it was too late.
And now that person got to come in and do a crazy, like it got to be some extra hard work now to get these people up in this church or whatever organization.
And now because it's 2025, can I add another caveat? They handing over scandals. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? I need y'all to back. Why don't y'all leave before the baby's mama come out?
Wow.
Why are you waiting until we find out you had another family? Now you're trying to transition to church. You should have stepped off 20 years ago so we wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
Why would you want the next person to walk in on your mess? The whole room smell like elephant doo-doo because you had a whole circus in here.
It's crazy.
And now you still trying to hand off the church like it's a prize for somebody else. This is a TMZ article.
Mm-hmm. It's actually crazy.
It's not fair.
It's not.
So,
It's not.
okay, well, Jesus, Lord, have mercy on my soul.
But the Lord's going to do what He needs to do.
Always and forever.
He is going to do it. He's going to get glory. He's going to put people in the right positions. He's going to open doors. I think that's the craziest thing too. Like when He opened doors that people think that you don't deserve or you don't qualify or whatever. And that's something that I'm still understanding too. Like when the Lord opened doors for me, I'd be like, wow, you placing me in these rooms that I just would have never thought that I'd be in. And to the average person, I can look unqualified.
Yeah.
And to myself, sometimes I can look unqualified or undeserving.
Yep.
But I don't deserve it.
Yeah, for
and I'm
sure.
not qualified.
Yeah.
But you see fit for me to be in these places because you know what I'm going to say.
Absolutely.
And you know who needs to hear it that's going to listen.
For sure.
And so I think that if even the older generation can like be like, you got a word in your mouth. I don't care what outside look like.
Right.
I don't care what you've been through. I don't care what you're going through.
Right. This
is what the Lord is telling me. And really pray about your congregation.
Facts.
Ask the Lord about the younger people. Like when my pastor heard, I'm supposed to bring you up into leadership. To anybody else, that would have been so wrong because I wasn't even fully saved.
Mm-hmm.
But that saved my life.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I would have been 1 foot in, 1 foot out, crazy, living a double life.
Yep.
But because I was in leadership, I understood because going to all these leadership meetings and because learning to have power with people, not power over people, how to talk to people, how to minister to people, how to not wear a mask at church, but be real. Because I learned these things in leadership, I was able to not have to teeter-totter, like to not live a double life. I was able to do that.
So let me just shout out this DTS in Huntington Beach that you went to for 6 months.
Yeah, circuit riders.
They discipled you well. It's just coming out of your pores. Like listen, I know a great program by sitting with the people that were programmed.
Wow.
I ain't gotta know nothing about DTS. You are their written epistle. You went down there and got discipled for real.
Yeah.
Don't nobody talk like this unless they got discipled. And some of y'all are missing some steps. You're trying to play hopscotch on squares that you're supposed to put your feet in.
Mm.
And this is why some of y'all's ministries are half-baked. Because you won't submit to a discipleship process. Everything you hear coming out of this woman is because she submitted to a process and actually went through with it.
Yeah.
I'm sure everything they told you didn't want to do.
When they told me things that they felt like I dealt with, like when we was going through, like it's a whole like freedom manual that we go through, and I was going through shame, guilt, all these different things. I was like, oh no, I'm good. But then they also list out how you know you deal with these things, and I was like, oh, I deal with all this stuff. I was like, oh, I have shame crazy. Oh, I feel guilt all the time. Oh, I'm super offensive. And so just going through the freedom, they just teach you. They just taught me how to like be free and stay free. Like freedom is not a one day thing. It's a proclaiming over your life every day that you are not, this is not who I am. And it's actually a lie from the enemy.
Right. And
this is actually in the word what God says about this. Like using the word to combat the lie.
Facts.
So I'm just glad to be able to sit in your presence and for you to say freedom looks good on you.
Oh,
basically.
that's all I'm saying to you, girl.
That's what I hear.
Yes, freedom looks real good on you. I can hear it. I can see it. Like there's fruit from it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't sit here this long and fake freedom. That's the thing about this house and this couch. If it ain't in you, it can't come out of you. You may have some buzzwords that you found out on TikTok. You may be able to fake it for 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah,
After that, I'm
after
gonna
that.
be like, you ain't done no work.
Mm-hmm.
This about to be a 37-minute pod. Cause you ain't
37 minutes.
Yeah, because you ain't done no work. I'll know it in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Which is why everybody can't. Everybody can come here, but some people aren't ready because some people ain't done the work.
But the fact to me that God sees me as ready or fit, even like what you're saying right now, like that's the part that like I was like, this is a scam. They trying to get me to spend some money, do something. I don't know. This is a scam. And so for it to be true, and I'm sitting here and like hearing what you're saying right now, it's just like it's just confirmation from the Lord that I gotta stop thinking so small to myself.
Yeah, girl. So let me affirm you. Okay, here we go.
Now sit up.
All right. So I'm about to give you some words of affirmation. Okay. After every word that I give you, the only thing I want you to say is I receive it.
Okay.
It's your only response, okay? I don't want no disclaimers. I don't want no, well, I'm working on it. I'm trying. Just, I receive it after everything. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You ready? All right. I love you.
I receive it.
I am pleased with you.
I receive that.
You are blessed.
I receive it.
You are wise.
I receive that.
You are humble.
I receive it.
You are gifted.
I receive it.
You are creative.
I receive it.
You are strong.
I receive that.
You are weak.
I receive that.
You are a disciple.
Oh, I receive that.
You are a great wife.
I receive that.
You are rare.
I receive it.
You are unique.
I receive it.
You are apostolic,
I receive that.
prophetic,
I receive it.
evangelistic,
I receive it.
pastoral,
I receive that.
and a teacher.
I receive that.
You are built to last.
Can I say period? Period in the name of Jesus.
You are built to last,
I receive that.
righteous,
I receive it.
godly.
I receive it.
Yay. Yay, 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 yay.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that.
Nah.
100%.
This is I'm so glad you came. So glad Des came with you. Let's make sure his clothing line is in the link as well. Make sure all your book is gonna be in the link.
Yes.
The music in there. Do you have new music coming out? I thought you said.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. A lot of I'm gonna play something for you before I leave. And my
Hey.
husband got a shirt for you right there too.
Okay, I can't wait. I want it. I
Okay.
want my shirt. I want my shirt. I want my shirt.
No, you're gonna
Want
love it.
My shirt.
Especially for you, because I watch like when you be preaching,
Mhm.
how you dress and stuff. I'm glad you dress super regular.
Thank you.
Because
it is
so
super
you gonna,
regular.
especially for any engagements, you're gonna love that.
I love it. I love it. It's going down. It's going down. Okay, and we got to listen to the music in my Tesla
Okay,
because there's a certain sound. I can't listen.
a different type of sound.
Yeah. I can't listen just like on
Regular.
the phone. Like
No,
that.
no.
I'd be like, "Ooh," like you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I
Joker's
said
got
anytime
to
I
hear
said
it.
to somebody like put headphones in or go in your car.
Yeah, for
Every
sure.
time I send my music out, because it's a different. Even hearing it from the studio.
It is.
And then
It's
get
different.
back in your car.
Oh no.
I hear more.
I gotta tell them, I need you. Even if it's scratch, right? Even if it's not fully mixed, give it to me so I can put it in the car because I gotta listen to it in the car. The car is the litmus test.
It is.
Exactly.
So when everybody riding around or in and I tell them headphones too, because when you in that gym and you put them headphones on, I want them headphones to bump. Okay? Yes. I need
Yeah.
to feel them pop on and off my ears
Yeah.
for me to really get into that workout.
That rattle is
I'm
that
telling
timber
you.
is
I'm glad
very,
you
very
understand that
important.
because a lot of people be like, I just listen. No, you can't do that.
Can't do it. It's got to be different. It's
Yeah.
got to be different.
So yeah,
Okay.
we listen in a Tesla.
Unbelievable. Okay, Queen Lee, everybody. Like this is a treat.
Wow.
This is a treat. Like y'all two, like for real. Like I'm like, man, I need to buy Street Hymns a sandwich or something. I don't know.
That's so funny.
I don't know what bro eat. I don't know what he drinking right now. You know what I'm saying? But I need to buy him a little pop. You know what I'm saying? And his favorite sandwich.
I love that. Yeah, shout out you, Street.
Yeah, Street, we love you, bro. So thank you so much for the
I
time.
appreciate it.
I really appreciate you. Like this was like, I'm just delighted. Like I'm on cloud 9 right now. For real. Like this is a beautiful conversation.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, everybody, check out Queen Lee's music. Get her book. Ladies, you heard her. Take some notes. Get that devotional.
Please, guys.
Because I
it's gonna
promise you,
help.
if you want a man to drive from Atlanta to South Carolina to swoop you up, you may need to take a cooking class.
You're not ending the pod, right?
Yes, I'm about to end the pod.
Why? It's
Huh?
another 3 hours.
I gotta pee, and I gotta listen to music.
Oh yeah, we gotta listen to this music.
I gotta listen to this music. So, all right, everybody. Until next time. Peace.
Love y'all.
Yeah, so press B with me and let's let whatever gon' be just be. Yeah, so press B with me and let's let whatever gon' be just be.